Isaac, put my cam big. Are we live?
Well, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the special edition of the Cajun Conservative Show. Alongside of me is Mr. Kelby Daigle. He's a political consultant at Ignite Marketing and vice chair of Seymour Parish Republican RPEC. He is also my co-host for tonight. Kelby, what's happening, man?
Hey, all good here, Isaac. How you doing?
Blessed and highly favored. I got you tonight as a guest host, man.
Well, thank you for having me. I guess we had a good time last time. Hopefully everybody went and vote and did a little better than last time. The turnout was not too great, but hey, still 30 minutes left to go out and vote. And thank you for having me and inviting me back on.
Oh yeah, man. I always love having you on, man. It's a blessing. And we really have a good time together. We might disagree a little bit, but guess what? We're all good, We're all good.
It's America. You can do that.
It's America. I like that. I like that. So before we go on, and we're gonna be promoting this company a lot tonight, because I guess you could say this is the sponsor of the show, Mr. Kelby Daigle's Ignite Marketing is going to be sponsoring this episode today. So we're going to go ahead and throw it up. There we are. Look, there we go. Ignite Marketing. Kelby, tell us a little bit about your company, man, before we start going into the show.
Yeah, so we are a full service marketing firm. We specialize in marketing, business development, and of course, politics. We love politics, right? If you're looking to win an election or grow your business, go ahead and give us a call or email us. Go to ignitemarketingla.com for more details. You can also see all the services we provide. We're getting into the printing business in 2024, so some exciting things we're working on. Then we kind of tested it out with some of our clients to cycle push cards and political, handouts, and it was pretty good. So we'll be expanding that into some of the commercial, the commercial side of things. So we are looking forward to doing that. So, and also thank you for allowing me to sponsor tonight's program as well.
Oh, that's no problem, man. Hey, look, we worked together already. We worked with a few candidates also together. So we know how you are. We know you dedicated to the craft. So that's what I like. I like promoting companies that I know do the work, Kelby. And that's the thing we need. We have people that's passionate. There's people that do work out there, but it's just I'm doing it to make money. You're really passionate about this, and you really want to represent candidates that you like and you love to really get out there and have a chance to win.
Yeah, I mean, and for the most part, I mean, we're apolitical. We work with everybody, mostly Republicans. I don't know a lot of Democrats. I do know a lot of Republicans. So if you're a Democrat, if you want to play with your race, then go ahead and hire us. But no, it's just a joke. But certainly, I'm very selective on who we take on, as a client. Just because you just have to make sure values align and you're doing it all for the right reason. And a lot of people run for office that just want to go in there and benefit themselves. So you have to kind of keep an eye out on that. Then kind of plays both ways in a sense.
Right. I agree with you. We here same here at BJS Media. We sometimes you can't be selective, but at other times, especially on the political side, you try to be selective onto the people that have your same values. So
yeah, and we worked with BJS Media for the Bash on the Basin, our fundraiser for the local party, and we recommend you guys too. It was absolutely professional, top-notch, service we got. So I want to thank you guys for helping us out there too.
Oh, we appreciate the work, man. And I know y'all guys, you're gonna give us a call back. Y'all one of our customers, and we're working with.
They're gonna have to give you a call back. They're gonna have to.
Well. Hold on, hold on. So it's official. You're not going to be the vice chair for long, or how we working with that?
Yeah, so I am after my term ends in I think March. So the primaries happens, election gets certified. So then April, hopefully, I think they will all be sworn in April. I will not be returning to the committee. I made that announcement at the Bash on the Basin a few months ago, and it's been great, 4 great years, and it's time to go ahead and move on. And again, I'm incredibly, like we discussed on your show a few months ago as well. I'm incredibly proud of all of our accolades. We I did the best we could do, and so it's going to be time to give it up and give it to the next person and see what they can do with it, and hopefully, I have full confidence in some of the members there that they'll go ahead and make it even better.
Hey, that's all we could hope for, man. But don't worry, I'm going to be there to straighten them out if something happens.
Yeah, yeah, I will.
So
I
so
will, be in the constituent role. So
Hey, no problem with it. So, Ignite Marketing, go ahead and get with Kelby, ignitemarketingla.com, and he can help you out with just not political stuff, but also your business as well. And so, Kelby, I want to show you something that came across. This was before the live stream, because we set up live streams and everything before to get out. And please share the show, ladies and gentlemen. It helps us out more than here at BGS Media and the Cajun Conservative Show. Also, look at all our social media platforms that are scrolling across the screen. You can go ahead and follow me and Kelby on Facebook, X, and other platforms that we're on. But Kelby, I want to show you this. And like when I scheduled this live stream, and if you look on, the pages and stuff like that, we have chats on Rumble, we have chats on Facebook and YouTube, and we were going to talk about this. But this is one of the comments that came up before we went live. Oh wow, I completely forgot that there was a runoffs. I was too focused on the governor's race, and that is going to be a problem right now in the state of Louisiana. People that go ahead and they talk about, the governor's race was big, but there's no big governor's race. There's nothing going on, and guess what? People are forgetting to go vote today.
well,
So
I think they forgot to vote last time too. They forgot there was a governor's race.
well,
Yeah, there was a big focus on the governor's race. I mean, we're getting a new governor. We haven't had one in 8 years, so it was exciting for a lot of people. And you had a lot of people run for office, and they all had probably, I think it's safe to say, terrible get out the vote operations, because their turnout was individually was so horrible. Yeah, but there is a race. This one's going to be very low turnout as well, and some that's going to have consequences for some people.
yeah, and it's sad, Kelby, that we're in this country that we have so much potential. We could, by far, we have one of the best election systems in the world. There's not, and it's sad that people take that for granted. That they have a civic duty to go ahead and vote and put in their leaders, and they don't want to do it because something else is going on.
Yeah, well, one day we won't have it, and that's when we're gonna wish we didn't. We didn't take it for granted, and we do take it for granted. We take a lot of things for granted in this country: free speech, freedom of the press, freedom of religion, liberties. We have liberties, that protect us from the government. I can go ahead and people. I would never say it because I think it's scum, but people literally say F Joe Biden. You could tell him that to his face, and nothing can happen to you. And we are very, great. We should all be very grateful. We have a country that we can do this. If you go vote. All the veterans who fight for us to be able to live this way. When people try to take it away from us, they are there to defend it, and we just have to go and vote. But then again, we also get the government we get. We put in enough Republicans didn't go vote 2020. Here we are with President Biden. People didn't go vote in 2015, and we ended up with, John Bell Edwards for 8 years. People didn't go vote, and we ended up with Jeff Landry. From the other from the other perspective.
Yeah, I get you.
It plays both sides. I mean, Democrats are going to be angry now because now they have no power. Well, enough of you people didn't go vote for Sean Wilson.
Well, and see, you talking like that. I talked to Mayor from Henderson, Sherman, and we were talking about this. And the first words that we brought, well, the first thing we came up was New Orleans didn't go vote, and that was a good for the Republican Party because we all know that we all that follow politics know that in Louisiana, New Orleans is the center point for the Democrat Party. If they don't get out, guess what? We have a Republican governor. If they show up,
there's not enough. No, there's not enough in New Orleans for that to even happen. We have a Democrat. We had a Democrat governor not because of New Orleans. I mean, we had a Democrat governor because we put up bad candidates. Bad candidates won the Republican slot in the runoff in 2015. A bad candidate. You'd have put in anybody in there. John Bell Edwards' people were scared. They were scared of Scott Argel. They were scared of Jay Jordan. David Vitter had enough negatives. He had enough in that column where we can hammer him with, and a lot of people are going to buy into it. And John Bell Edwards, squeaky clean, West Point and everything, it was squeaky clean, just ran right through it. And then we put in another bad candidate, about as unrelated, the most unrelatable person I think we ever had in Louisiana politics, Eddie Rispone.
Yep.
Just unrelatable, corny, hokey. I didn't just vote for Donald Trump. I put a bumper sticker on my. I mean, who cares? They nationalized the governor's race. And
it worked to a point. It did work to a point because, like me, look, I voted Eddie.
How did it work? He lost.
No. This is what I'm coming to the point with. A lot of people were on the fence of Eddie and Ralph. Okay, like me personally, I didn't know who I was going to vote for, and I this is what I said, Kelby. I said the first one that throws a punch will be the one that I'm probably not going to vote for. And when Eddie Rispone started the attacks, that's where a lot of Ralph Abraham voters got turned away with. Because look, and if you look at the numbers, Monroe did not show up in the Republican runoff. Why? Because that was all Ralph Abraham's district. And I think that a lot of people were at a point saying, look, well, we could not stand Eddie Rispone's attacks. We couldn't stand Eddie Rispone's way of thinking. Because look, Eddie Rispone did have a good message in the sense of nationalizing the election. Was I'm voting for Donald Trump and I'm the outsider. That he was running on Trump's coattail.
But he was the ultimate insect. Eddie Rispone picked Jeff Landry to be the next governor.
Right. Yeah, and then I think he's on his transition team, him and Ralph Abraham. So.
Yeah, he's Eddie Rispone does education. He's on the education chairman or whatever. Anyway, that's not the subject of tonight.
No.
But yeah.
But so
you still have a few minutes to go vote, people, if you haven't done so already. We'll toss it over to Isaac for a second.
All right. So this is what we're going to be doing, guys, tonight. While Kelby's wait for a second, we're going to go ahead and ask y'all to do us a favor here on the Cajun Conservative Show. If you are looking at a particular race, we looked a while back and there were like 20 something races for state rep, and there's the Vermilion Parish race, there's the Lafayette Parish mayor presidential race. There's a lot of races out there that you, as the listener, wants us to look at. Go ahead and comment. I could, if you just give you a disclaimer, if you're on Facebook or YouTube, it can go across the screen. If you're on Rumble does not allow us to do the comments across the screen, but I'm going to put Rumble up right here on the screen so we can go ahead and read your comments as well, and we'll talk about that as going along. Tonight, my focus, and when Kelby gets back, we're going to ask him what is his focus on for tonight. It is we're going to be wondering about we're going to be talking about the Lafayette Parish race, the St. Martin Parish presidential race. Like I said, we had the Vermilion Parish race, sheriff's race. That is very, very not heated, but it's very competitive. Got some great runoff races out there. Miss Kelly Alford, our friend here at BGS Media, she's running in District 64. We're going to go ahead and look at that as well. But again, if you're on Rumble, still go ahead and comment. We're going to go ahead and see your comments on the screen. I have them up right here. Let's see if anybody has commented yet. Like I said, we had somebody before the live stream even start commenting on our show, ladies and gentlemen. So, but we have the live chat up for Rumble right here. And again, this show is sponsored by tonight Ignite Marketing, Mr. Kelby Daigle's company. They've decided to sponsor us tonight and help us out. So if you have a business and you need some marketing done, go ahead and give Kelby a call or text Kelby or message Kelby on his website. Also, this is a production of BGS Media. We are excited to be bringing this election coverage to you guys. So again, let's go ahead and like I said, we're waiting on Kelby to come back, and I'm excited. I just have a good time. We did this last month, ladies and gentlemen, for the regular election, and it went well. It really went well. I enjoyed doing it, and we love bringing this information to you. We had some questions about the last nationalized election, and I guess you could say nationalized. It was the election for Kentucky's governor, for Virginia's state legislation, and a couple other things. Unfortunately, we were booked. We couldn't do a coverage for that. But Louisiana is very important to us. And look, we have 3 elections. As Kelby said, you still have a few minutes to go vote. If you have not voted yet, it's 7:46 right now at the time of this recording. If you haven't gone and vote yet, please go vote. If you don't live too far from your precinct, your polling place, go vote. It is important. We need to finish the job. Liz Monroe is running for Attorney General. She needs our vote. Nancy Landry, she needs our vote for Secretary of State. We need John Fleming needs our vote for State Treasury. And we're going to go back and kick it over to Kelby. Kelby's going to join us in the chat again. Kelby, welcome back, man.
Hey, good to be back.
So, Kelby, as I was just saying, telling people, hey, the job isn't done yet. You still got 15 minutes or so to go vote. The job ain't done yet. If everybody wants the Republican Party. Everybody wants a conservative government. Well, guess what? We have a chance, but the 3 main offices, especially Secretary of State, a lot of people don't realize Secretary of State is a big responsibility here in the state of Louisiana.
Hey, side note, real quick, how'd you guys do, by the way, in the primary for
Which
Secretary
one?
of State?
Crazy dude. Brandon Trosclair?
Yeah.
I don't even think he broke 10%. We could we'll pull that up later on if you want to look on your side.
I was just curious. I hadn't really So
if I'm not mistaken, I know Nancy Landry's in the runoff. Man, who else was running in there? Clay Shakespeare didn't do well either. So Brandon Trosclair and Clay Shakespeare didn't do well in there. So
so I can make some predictions for you.
You make some predictions. Let's go. Let's hear your predictions.
Nancy Landry will win tonight. Liz Muriel will win tonight, and John Fleming will win tonight.
Unless something major happens that we're not expecting.
Like what?
No, I'm just saying. It's
the Louisiana win tonight, and I mean this would be like Gwen Collins Greenup's 3rd time losing for the same office.
I know you saw that, huh?
Maybe 6th time, because with runoff, she's gotten every runoff. So, yeah.
And don't get me wrong, she's popular with the Democrats, but she's not popular with Republicans or even some independents.
Yeah.
But
Democrat Party is absolutely dysfunctional. Even probably, it's worse than the Republican Party. The Republican Party, that needs to be burnt down and started over in Louisiana. Just But hey,
To be honest with you, though, and I'm not trying to throw national politics in there, but the whole Republican Party looks dysfunctional. Come on, man.
no,
We
it
got
is
our
it is
executive
dysfunctional,
speaker.
right? It is dysfunctional, and because of an orange dude, it is dysfunctional. Um, no, but they do. I mean, but the Democrat, but the Republican Party is now empowered because their guy, Jeff Landry, um, he won, and beat five other Republicans.
Yep.
So how you try to reform that, but I will tell you this. I've been keeping an eye out in Landryland over there, and
Yeah, because I realized his transition teams in Lafayette, they're working out of Lafayette and UL.
yeah, I don't mind some of the stuff I'm hearing so far.
Okay.
I don't mind some of the stuff I'm hearing so far. Philip de Villiers is going to be a good speaker. Cameron Henry is going to be a good Senate president. You know, you have to give him a chance. Essentially, you have to give him a chance, right? I didn't vote for him, but you have to give the governor a chance, and we'll see what happens. And I kind of like some of what I'm hearing. So
And look,
there's your Fox News alert.
well, and this is the thing too, Kelby. Look, we're not gonna agree everything with Jeff Landry. You get what I'm saying? Like I didn't agree with everything with Bobby Jindal. I definitely didn't agree with everything with John Bell. But at the same time, we're gonna go ahead and make sure, that like you said, we give him a chance. Now, if he does 60-40 bad, well, then we can call him out on that.
Well, you replace him in 4 years.
Yeah,
See, everybody could be replaced. I mean, whether it's 2 years, 4 years, 6 years, everybody could be replaced. And you need to tell them that, hey, we replace you if you want to.
right. So we got Mr. Blaine Prejean from Facebook. He went ahead and commented and said St. Martin Parish. And look, we got a good race. We got two good races here in St. Martin Parish. I think it's District 1, where it was literally a tie. It wasn't it's one vote here, two. No, it was dead heat, 899 votes. That separate that was just dead heat. That's District 1. I can't remember the candidate's name, but I know
so that's between incumbent Brian Fugely, Councilman Brian Fugely, and the challenger is Hoyt Louvier. And I think Hoyt has the advantage just because how the district is drawn. Councilman Tozan last time kind of mentioned, because of reapportionment, it kind of did favor Hoyt a little bit, but always hard to beat an incumbent. So yeah, they were tied. They're, running again. And of course, Pete Delcom and Dean LeBlanc for parish president. Dean LeBlanc is the incumbent he's a current councilman for District 8. And Pete Delcom, Pete, I think, works for the school board. If I'm mistaken, he supervises the school board, and he's also on the St. Martin Parish Republican Party, representing District 1, I believe.
Yeah, and look, both diehard guys, dude. They'll both give you the shirt off their back if you ask them to. Really, in my opinion, both of them would make some good parish presidents.
Dean's got a ton of experience and a ton of results, a proven record. And unfortunately, this is just the facts. I've decided to say neutral, because Pete is a colleague of mine. But the facts are the facts, and Dean definitely has those high qualities, and Pete is kind of the new, would be the new way in a sense. Dean's kind of the current way, and Dean would kind of be change. If you have a change vendetta, which I believe people in St. Martinville do, then that's kind of how that has played out.
Yeah, and like I said, dude, those both of the races are going to be very close, I believe, tonight.
I think Dean has the upper hand, but be surprised. Be surprised, just because
we were surprised. We were surprised last month.
Yeah, but be surprised. I think Dean, incumbent, and I think he has the upper hand here, but be surprised.
Yeah, but like I said, remember, Kelby, we were surprised last month because the numbers came
Yeah.
in and Pete was ahead, and we were like, wow. You
Yeah.
know, this,
Yeah.
because everybody just put everybody in this parish at least had Dean just, hey, he's been in there for a while, he's popular. We think he's going to take it over, and it just
But also, also Isaac is who took advantage of the low turnout that's going to happen today and in early voting.
that's
When
that.
I went early vote last week, Miss Pat told me that they were, averaging, 300 a day. That's, decent. Who went vote for what? Did they go in just for the parish president's race? Did they go and vote, or did they go vote for just, Liz and Nancy Landry's pretty local too? So it just all depends on who's going to be taking advantage of this low voter turnout, which we are going to have. It's going to be abysmal. It's going to be ridiculous. And who turned out their voters. And I know Dean, they've been working hard. I know Pete's been working hard. Um, Pete went from here, now he's here, and it's crazy when you think about it. But Pete worked hard and Dean worked hard, and they leaving everything on the table in 5 minutes, and we're gonna find out who won and who didn't.
Yeah, and you're still gonna go ahead and pull up the numbers, correct? When we get ready.
I do have the numbers. I do have the numbers. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so we'll have them on the screen at the time of 8 o'clock.
Yeah. But as soon as we get something in, we'll start sharing.
Yeah, we do like we did last time. And look, hey, if you're enjoying the show, please share it out with a friend. Tell your friends and neighbors all about the show tonight, live updates. We will be having Chris Tozan coming on, I believe 8:05. He's going to be calling in. That is Parish Councilman, District 5 of St. Martin Parish. Also another race, and this ain't a statewide race, but the parish right next to us. Lafayette mayor president's race between Monique Blanco Boulay and Josh Guillory. We were surprised at this one too last month.
No, I was not surprised. You were surprised?
Well, I was surprised Josh wasn't. I didn't think. I thought it would go into a runoff, but I didn't think that Josh would be number 2.
Yeah, you see, the thing is with Josh, and look, I've been knowing Josh a while. Good person, caring person. I can't say enough good things about Josh Guillory. Josh Guillory was my business law professor. He teaches a class at UL, and I took him, and just intellectually bright, controversial. He went in there and did some things that people don't like, and I'm just telling you how I see it here. All the people who are behind Monique Boulay were all the people who were behind Carly Amlabar in 2019. Josh won. He wasn't supposed to win, but he won. Ultimate outsider kind of deal.
Right.
Josh governed moderately conservatively. Josh made a deal with the Lafayette RPEC and some of those people who are not popular within Lafayette. The Lunsford people. And he's gonna get what he's gonna get tonight, and I think he's gonna lose tonight because of Monique Blanco Bouye, whatever, however you say her name, Bouye, I think it's Boulay. She's got a very diverse voter base. She's got the Democrats because of her family. She's got the African American community, a lot of that because loyalty to her family. She's got Republicans with a brain, common sense Republicans. She's got every independents who don't like Guillory. And then Josh is kind of in an island almost with MAGA and right wing and Lafayette RPEC and Clay Higgins, that group. I don't think there's enough of that group to throw him over the top. You saw that in the results last time. So Josh kind of didn't play his cards right. scandals. He had some scandals. And there are a lot of things he done good, but there are a lot of things that I'm like, I would have done that totally different. You know, you don't go open up you're a lawyer, your wife is a counselor, like a psychiatrist, kind of a therapist. And then now all of a sudden you're in the construction business.
And see that's the whole thing about this, because like a lot of people, and I understand we look at this all the time, Kelby. We're always in the, what's the latest scandal, what's going on in politics or whatever like that. And a lot of people say, well, Monique threw the first punch. Well, if Monique threw the first punch, but if it's accurate, she's letting the people know, hey, this is why you shouldn't vote for him.
And look, it's a dumb moon bull crap that you cannot differentiate yourself from your opponent. Yes, you can. Your opponent's got dirt and it's garbage, and they have things that that you can attack them on. You do it.
And look,
Leesburg grid. Me, my opponent, my closet, his closet, or her closet. Well, how can we use their negatives to benefit us, and how they could use our negatives to benefit them? It's a game. And people who's not in the business, they don't understand that. Like Moon could sit behind a microphone and yap his big mouth all day about, oh, they threw this punch. Who cares? You have to win. It's about winning.
I'm not. Look, at the point of this, I'm against mudslinging. And look, it's 8:00. Polls are just closed. Just let everybody know. If you're watching this on your phone and online, in line, stay in line, because they have to take.
But also it's the top of the hour. So let's just refresh. This is our election night coverage, Cajun Conservative, brought to you by Ignite Marketing, your hometown marketing team. Give us a call. Website ignitemarketingla.com. We're happy to help you there as well. I'm Kelby Daigle, by the way, and that is Isaac Hayes, host of the Cajun Conservative, getting me dizzy with all this movement.
I know. I'm trying to get us both on the screen like we did last time, and
that's fine. Y'all know how to get to me. So thank you so much for joining us. As Isaac alluded to earlier, the polls are closed in Louisiana, our runoffs. Big statewide elections. Gwen Greenup, the Democrat for Secretary of State, Nancy Landry, the Republican for Secretary of State. The Attorney General's race, Liz Muriel, Republican, Lindsey Cheek, Democrat, and of course, Treasurer Dr. John Fleming and Dustin Granger. Locally, we are following the races in St. Martin Parish. Pete Dalcombe, Dean LeBlanc, both Republicans vying for the race. And there's also District 1 that Isaac is looking at with Byron Fusilier, the incumbent, and Hoyt Louvier, the challenger. District 7, Kevin Birkin, a Republican, and Eric Knezik. They're running for that. Pretty big area. Bessie is the State Board of Secondary Education, I believe, and that is a free position, and they're all spending a gazillion dollars to get on that board. Lots of legislative races. Nothing in our area too much. I do see Brett Allen and Beau Lagrange are in a runoff in Senate District 21. But other than that, there's really nothing of significance. I know your friend to the show, Kelly Alford, is running. So they're both Kellys, huh?
Yeah, they both Kellys in there. They spelled the name totally different. But
let me see. She's got a good name, or he's got a good name.
It's Kelly Alford went ahead and told us that the other day her opponent was a woman. So yeah, it was a female. So,
all right.
But man, we got, like you said though, I wasn't aware of that many state representatives races out there. They still got some. They got some good races out there, man.
Yep. Yes, indeed.
And again,
of course, as soon as we start to get some results, we'll go ahead and let you guys know as well. But nothing. It's still a little early. Everything is too close to call.
Also, we do want to tell everybody, if you have a race you want us to look into, comment in the comment section. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, it will come across the screen. So that's a disclaimer. And also on Rumble, we cannot throw them comments on the screen, but I have it open on the side right here, and we can go ahead and answer the questions you have. So because there's also the Vermilion Parish Sheriff's race that is made a lot of attention in this area as well.
All right. Well, we have some early numbers in. If you want to go ahead and share my screen.
Yeah, let's go ahead and put it on.
Early voting is in for St. Martin Parish. We'll start there.
I'm still not getting it yet. Let's see. We also got Chris Tozan coming on. So there we go. Let's go ahead and answer Mr. Chris Tozan. How you doing, Chris? Welcome to the show, man. Oh, well, hold on. There we go. All right, Chris, how about it? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I hear y'all.
How you doing, Chris? Welcome back to the show, man.
Thanks, man.
So we got some early numbers in. And Kelby, I don't know if you see that with the parish president's race, but Pete Daigle has a solid lead right now. So
yeah, about 700 more votes in early voting. Pete did win early voting by about 700.
So Chris, you're on the council for St. Martin Parish. Y'all will be known who's your next parish president at the end of the night. Also, council member number District 1 as well. So what what are you going into tonight?
With District 1, close race, man, between Hoyt and Byron. Byron being the incumbent and everything. I don't think I've ever seen a race come down to 899 votes and have a tie. This was pretty outrageous when we saw this thing and all. And I think it's going to be a close race again. I wouldn't want to call this thing. Kelby was right. He said it earlier. I thought maybe with the redistricting, because I lost a good portion of my district, the Catahoula, Ela Bay, Catahoula Cove community, joining up into that area. So I figured, it would have been a little bit toward maybe with Hoyt in the numbers, because Catahoula is known to vote. Those people out there, they're going to get out there, they vote. Doesn't matter if it's a runoff or if it's just a regular election. They're pretty consistent in their voting. Pete Delcombe's race and Dean LeBlanc's race, with Pete being 700 votes. That race right there, I agree with Kelby what he said earlier. 100%. Early voting is going to pretty much dictate who's going to win these races. We're going to have a very low voter turnout. I believe it's going to, be pretty bad, because we rode around today and we went to the different precincts and kind of watched to see who was voting and see what was going on, and numbers were really, really, really low. And so that early voting might tell a tale on here. And here's one thing to remember: with Dean being from the north end of the parish and Pete being from the south end of the parish, we actually have two council races going on, with Cajun North Seas being the incumbent in St. Martinville. And that being a minority district is going to pull out a lot of supporters and a lot of people going out to vote, because that's a pretty heated race between her and her opponent in that race. So I don't know. I'm not going to say I'm surprised by the numbers so far, what they're looking like. I think it's still kind of early, but with a low voter turnout, I think Kelby called this thing early. I think it's going to have a lot to say with the early voting, and early voting is pretty much, going to dictate how these races are going to finish tonight.
Yeah, and go ahead, Kelby.
Yeah, just a quick question, Councilman. There's been, the rumor mill has been rampant. As far as you and your future, are you planning a run, for higher office within the parish once your term is up?
Kelby, there was a lot of people that asked me, and, I thought I would have had an interest in doing something else this go around right here. And I'm going to be honest with you. I served 8 years on the council. As of right now, until this race is called with Barn, I'm the only councilman that can tell you I've served with 3 different parish presidents, basically 3 different, councils. It's been pretty interesting. I wanted to finish my term out. There's some things that are coming up, important millages that's up for renewal for next year. We got a road tax we just passed. A lot of things I wanted to see get finished and all. And I was the chairman for the 2 years prior. This year, Carla Jean-Baptiste, Ms. Baptiste was the chairman. I like to finish some things. I never close the door opportunity. I'll tell you that. And I made Isaac a commitment that if I decide to run for something else after this is all said and done, he'd be one of the first ones to know I made the announcement there. I'm not saying no. I'm open to doing something else. Depending who wins this Paris president's race and who's going to stay here and how long they want to stay here, that might be something we might be looking at in the future.
Yeah, and especially with if because this would be your last term, correct, Chris?
Right. This is the last term. I'll have 3 terms and I'll be done after this.
So you if you would decide to run for higher office, you'd be running potentially against the person that would win tonight in the runoff election. Right.
And listen, that a lot of factors would have to go into that. Depends who wins, who's in there, and what kind of job they're doing. Listen, I said this from the first time I ever ran for office. It doesn't have to be me. It just has to be the person with the best interest of the parish, and somebody's going to come in here, keep things on track, keep moving forward, and just be accountable for the citizens and the constituents of this parish, and let's just move this thing forward. If somebody's in the driver's seat driving this thing and we going straight, I might just start answering to Grandpa instead, and I might run for my granddaughter when she hollers for me. But to close the door to opportunity and say I don't have future endeavors. No, I wouldn't say that right now. Right now, I'm open-minded to maybe thinking about doing something else.
But you always be a friend to the show. You better come on anytime. So
I appreciate it.
Kelby?
Yeah. So you almost can't, just 4 years is so much can happen in 4 years. So much does happen in 4 years. Just not an election question. What is something, you get 4 more years? What is some of the things you plan on, besides the millages and something that you plan to introduce, in your new term once y'all go ahead and get situated?
Some of the things that we were able to do, Kelby, in the past, and some of the ordinances and things that I was able to do, I introduced the saggy pans ordinance, and we introduced, where we changed some things. We got rid of some ordinances. We were able to pass the road tax. There's a lot of things that we did the first 8 years I was here. I really concentrated and focused a lot on drainage improvements in my district. And listen, hands out that the guy called me. One thing guy told me when I got here, he said, Chris, your district has some very important needs in drainage. So here's what we're going to do. We got 6 excavators. We're going to make sure you get one, and we're going to help you get your district where it needs to be. The first 4 years I was here, we were able to get a lot of stuff done. The last 4 years, we were able to kind of finish up some of those big projects that we're getting on. We were able to do the millage with the 20 mil to where we were able to do parks improvements. We, in my district, we spent almost $1 million in Catahoula, and we renovated that park and made it real nice. One of the nicer parks in the parish, in my opinion, along with the Cecilia Park and stuff. I think those 2 parks stand out above the rest. We were able to, do a lot of drainage projects. We had the lake dredge in Catahoula, which is an important thing. One of the things I'd like to see us work on, and I've been working pretty close with Donna Segura and Tej Vermillion, Bayou Ami. We have a problem with the water quality in Bayou Ami. With Tej Vermillion, they pump water into Bayou Tej and Bayou Vermillion, and we kind of don't really concentrate a whole lot on Bayou Ami as an outflow. But by creating a bigger outflow there and passing more water, we're able to pass it and get it more efficient to get it quicker. We only have a small culvert basically where the water goes in. We want to look at building a set of locks out there, improve the water quality there. It would greatly appreciated by the people of Catahoula and the communities down south, because we get a lot of self-discharge water from the sugar mill, but we have fish kills and we have stagnant water. We help the quality. So I think we want to improve on those projects. I was able to serve in the governor's task force for the Chapelhai Basin. I'm hoping that Jeff keeps this task force together and we're able to do some projects like we did on the Dixie. A lot of water quality projects in the parish. And now I picked up Woodland Rose as part of my new district. I like to work closely with the Henderson Indian water system and try to get that thing moving a little bit quicker and a little more efficiently. If we can try to get that water past the Woodland Rose, I think water is a major, major issue. And one of the biggest things of the 20th century is going to be fiber. You got to get fiber. If you want to bring those jobs and you want to bring people here and infrastructure, You have to have fiber, and we on the path to doing it. We've put it down. We've got a lot more money and a lot more time to spend on that stuff. I think we need to move, get with the times, and try to get people here to do business. So that's basically what I'd be working on. My last 4 years is try to move forward with the rest of the projects that we already started, and to bring new projects on and try to get things done.
So
Yeah, and that's pretty spot on because, and that's why local elections are very important, your council and everything, because we're talking about substance here. You didn't hear not one political thing out of the councilman's mouth just now. It's all substance, what's actually going on. So I think it's brilliant, especially water, especially fiber. Everything is online. It's multi-generational, the old, the young, the middle age, everyone is impacted by fiber and needs to be connected. So that's one way to stay competitive and innovative. So I think it's spot on, Councilman.
Now you think about fiber though, Chris. Will y'all do something like LUS that they have in Lafayette, or will y'all work something out with a cable company like Cox or something like that?
No, when Kamala Harris came down and she was giving her press conference, St. Martin Parish was actually putting fiber in the ground. We were one of the very first in the state to get fiber down. We contracted out with other companies. We contracted out with 2 or 3. We did reach out to LUS, and it might be we might be able to work something through LUS. Now we're working through contract companies to where money that was given through. We received in grant money for like $13 million. I think it was between 8 to 13 million that we've spent so far, that we were able to get from federal government and all. And there's a big old pot of money, gumbo money, that's sitting over there in Baton Rouge that we reaching out for and trying to get. So we basically not going to create. We don't want to get in the fiber business. We want to bring private entities, let them come here. Listen, government doesn't need to get more involved in people's business and running water systems and running fiber optics and running. There's people that do this for a living, and we want them to come here. We want to introduce it and try to bring it in and grow this thing bigger and bigger. So what we did is the funding that we received, we contracted out through other companies to help them to bring and spread to get it further out there to where they can come in here and connect the rest of the public in. And hopefully one day we'll have fiber throughout the parish. Right now we're working on a big loop that'll start from about 31 in Brobridge, loop all the way around to Hornerville, come back around and catch back on Cecilia side. That should be completed hopefully by the end of the year, next year. All that connection will be made, and maybe before that time, depending on how fast we can move with it. But we're not looking to become like LUS to be in the fiber business. We're just looking to expand to help our people go out.
Sounds good, Councilman. Councilman, if you have any final thoughts, or if you have a race you're looking at, if you wouldn't mind letting us know what race you're looking at and your final thoughts.
I'm pretty interested on the council races because basically, we've got 3 new council members. It's going to be interesting to see if we're going to get a 4th one or if the incumbents will return. Kenji Norcee's race, I think Kenji's race, I think she'll be pretty good. I think she gets back in. Parish president's race is a race to watch. That guy is going to be the leader of the parish. He's the administrator. He works closely with the council, and we work closely with the parish president. I think it's going to be hard to come back from 700. It depends on what the voter turnout was. We'll see, I agree with Kelby and you, both of y'all, what y'all said earlier. Listen, I'm pulling for Nancy, I'm pulling for Liz, and I'm pulling, I think the 3 Republicans are going to win that thing. I think the surprising races are going to be within the parish. And I'll tell you, another race I'm keeping my eye on, I like to see just for interest, is the parish president's race in Lafayette. I think we might see a change before the night's over.
Well, that's going to be our next race we're going to be talking about, Councilman. So, you might want to stay tuned for that.
I will. Thanks, man. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you, Chris. We appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, Councilman.
Okay.
All right, that was Chris Tozan, Council Member 5 of St. Martin Parish. Kelby, got some great things going on in St. Martin Parish, man.
Yeah, no, we have some great leaders, and whoever wins tonight, it's we're in good hands, So Lafayette is interesting. That's what I wanted to get to. Josh Gilroy lost again early voting.
I see.
Monique Blanco She did what she had to do in early voting. Now, will it pan out to today? I don't see.
But look at them
I don't see it.
numbers, Kelby. Close to 1,500 votes. That in over, man. That's a big hill to climb for Josh Guillory.
Yeah, it's a island that is, basically you have a limit. You have a limit on where you're going to be, and it was just the odds were just so in Monique's favor because of that diverse voter base, and only she could pull that off. Jan Swift didn't have it because Jan Swift lost. That Jan Swift endorsement, she was getting all Jan's people anyway, but it solidified that. All the Democrat in coalition went behind Monique Blanco. And there are a lot of people saying, oh, well, they went behind her, but they go behind regardless. Because
Right.
they want a seat at the table. They're going to go behind a candidate, whether it's Josh or whether it's in the past, whether it's D. Stanley or Joe Robideau or, whatever the other guy's name was. They're going to get behind a candidate, a Republican candidate, because Lafayette, and you can't elect Democrat parish-wide anymore, just like you can't elect Democrat parish-wide here anymore. They're going to go pick somebody because they want to see it at the table. And good for them, because why wouldn't you want to see it at the table? Why would you shun that's a lot of the Republicans' problem is they'd rather not have a seat at the table because they're all bitter. You have to have a seat at the table, or you have no power, you have no influence. And they got behind her, and we'll see how today goes. I really don't think it's going to make a difference.
And like
election day.
Like I said, 1,500 votes roughly is the hill for Josh Guillory to climb. So you get what I'm saying? You have to
look how many people there are there, qualified voters. Not to nerd out too much, but there are 157,000 voters in Lafayette Parish. Okay. Look how many turned out and went vote.
That's you're right. You're right. So in on the early voting, maybe less than 1%, maybe 1%, give or take. We would have to run the numbers, but
let's just face it. That's the kind of stuff we're dealing with. Low voter turnout. You had 18,000 people of 157,000 go vote.
Now that's early voting too. We gotta be straight. That is early voting.
Early voting. That's what I'm talking about. That's the only numbers we have right now. Now that may get to 30,000 people.
Yeah,
maybe 40,000 people at the most.
But even that though, that scenario, 40,000 people out of 156,000. That's not good numbers, Kelby. Not for Lafayette Parish at least, and that's a parish-wide race right there.
Yeah, I mean, so we'll see how it goes. I think somebody will be making a phone call tonight, and it's going to be not a good one.
Now, let's turn over to something else. And I just seen is looking at the state reps races. District 65, Laura Vinerdale, whatever, I can't say her last name, against Brandon Ivy. Now, people will know Ivy's name from Poison Ivy from the Moon Show. That's his brother. 3,403 votes have come in, and 2,020 is going to the other Miss Lauren, and Brandon. It only got 1,383. That's a race because of the Ivy name. You would think, hey, his brother held that spot for a long time.
Well, let me tell you something. I'm not a huge Barry. Well, I'm not. I think Barry Ivy gets a bad rap. Okay. If you had a problem solvers caucus in the legislature, he would be the chairman of it, or the leader of it. At the end of the day, a lot of Representative Ivy's frustration is everybody wants to play politics with everything. and they don't want to work together and solve the problems. Barry Ivy believes that there are legitimate problems in this state, and there are, and everything else is noise if you're not trying to solve these problems. So Moon doesn't like working together, doesn't like solving problems, because if you solve problems, then Moon's going on unemployment. If you solve the problems of the state, Moon is unemployed.
Well, we all would be out of a job.
Well,
You think about it, because hey, how do we? Our shows are run. Well, my show is run on talking about the problems of the country. You get what I'm saying? Left or right. So you can understand if some gets solved or some gets better. Cause look, hey, I did it, Kelby. You know, hey,
it'd be noble, right? It'd be good. Then stop doing the show.
Right.
Then you have more money. You're freer, and you have a government that's working, and hopefully out your life. I mean, then you quit. You do something else. You find another hobby.
Yeah. But no, that race right there, I was looking through and I saw that, and I'm like, wow, that turn. My friend,
Let's go ahead and look at the Secretary of State again. You know, this is just all going to be common sense at this point. Strong leads by Nancy Landry, Liz Muriel, and John Fleming.
Yeah, it's not even they should have called these races already. But I know they're waiting on certain parishes. But look, early and absentee reported 61 out of 64 parishes, 13 of 3,921 parishes have reported so far. And dude, Dustin Gray.
We do. Speaking of projections, their KLFY 10 is reporting that Nancy Landry will win Secretary of State, and John Fleming will also win the race for treasurer.
So it's been decided by KLFY that those races have been called, which we're already 1 hour into the show. We already called 2 of the statewide races, which ain't no shocker to either of us. And look, you know, congratulations to Nancy Landry. Congratulations to John Flemings. 2 good people, man. I never met Miss Landry, but I heard her talk on the radio. Josh Fleming, we both met John Fleming. John Fleming.
Yes.
We both met him at the RPEC meeting. He's been on the show. So real solid guy. I think both those candidates are going to do very well at their respective positions.
Yeah. And of course, I don't know what they're waiting for as far as Liz Muriel, but that'll probably most likely be Liz's
this just raises a question though, Kelby, too. What about, because we always talk about primaries and the runoff races and stuff, because voter turnout will be a big story tonight. How it was lower than the primary. I know people that said, hey, we're not going to go vote. We're not interested in those races. Do you think it's time to get out of this runoff system and just go, hey, let's go to a straight primary? So we have the governor's race, we have the Secretary of State, and look, we wouldn't be live tonight, but at the same time, we got all this done last month.
Well, 50.1 is the magic number regardless. That's a magic number regardless. You could still run the risk of runoffs in a primary because, it's hard to get 50.1%. I just think you have to, we're one of very few states in the country that uses the jungle primary system. You have to be careful, right? If you want to make a change, we've been doing it this way for a very long time. If you want to make a change, the governor, I'm sure if he wanted to, or the Secretary of State has the power to draw up a commission, draw up a board, get experts in there, get opinions, and make a decision. The legislature would have to change it, propose it to the legislature that you want to change things. Republicans, regardless, I think in Louisiana have a hard time coming together regardless. Everybody decides to run. The Republicans are the most popular party. It is the most popular party. I think California has a jungle primary, and they have the Democrats all fight with each other because they're the popular party there, and they're getting the runoffs. Right now, we're still R&D as far as a runoff, because but the third of the state is still votes Democrat. Californians Democrat. The Republican don't get the chance anymore, and eventually in Louisiana we'll have R&R Republican runoffs eventually. Our growth is a lot slower than other states because this place, I hate to say it, but it sucks. Nobody wants to come here. People are living here. This place sucks. People are sick. People are poor. The roads are terrible. There's no jobs. Hopefully, the governor and the legislature can try to get things back on track. That's
see, that's what I was about to say. Could that be because of bad government on John Bel Edwards' part?
But you had bad government with Jindal.
Yeah,
you had bad government. Yeah. You had bad government with John Bel Edwards. You might have bad government with Jeff. We don't know until it happens. Right? If you don't take the system, the Huey Long system, you don't take that system. You don't take 100 years of doing it one way. Stephen Wagaspak talked about this. That you take 100 years of doing it a certain way and you throw it out the door, and then you shop around. Oh, this state is doing that and it's working. This state is doing that and it's working. This country is doing that and it's working. How can we incorporate that and start over? But if everything is centralized to Baton Rouge, and we elect complete idiots at $16,000 a year, okay? We're paying them $16,000 a year to take on a job, deal with people, deal with the press, deal with the governor, being bullied by the governor, regardless of the party, because the governor of Louisiana, regardless of the party, bullies the legislature. So we're going to keep having the same thing. Jeff Landry picked essentially the Speaker of the House and the Senate President.
And that's where we're going to have to go with legislation. Did he pick the right people to do that job?
He shouldn't be picking them at all.
He shouldn't. I agree with you, but
Edwards didn't pick him, and that was a good decision.
Hold your thought right there. KLFY just announced that Liz Murrow is going to be projected to win that LA Attorney General spot. So Liz Murrow is the Attorney General elect.
All right, that's
so the big. I'm sorry to cut you off right there, but I wanted to bring that out to the people that Liz Murrow is our new Attorney General.
Yeah, right. So the governor elect has a whole lot more power tonight.
Oh yeah. Well, because that's one of his handpicked people as well.
Mm-hmm.
So and look. On a note of experience, Liz Murrow did have a lot of experience going into that race. She has challenged stuff at the Supreme Court. She sat. I think she was up with Jeff for 8 years. So she is a local girl too. A lot of people don't realize her and Nancy Landry, Chad Hardy, who's going to be on later on, told us that both these people are from Lafayette. So we have a lot of good representation from the Acadiana area.
Yeah, I'm surprised they're letting Acadiana have all this power because Philip de Villiers is from Acadiana too. He's going to be the Senate president. Now Cameron Henry's from Metairie, so the Metairie people will be happy about that. But and we'll see who starts getting chairmanships of Ways and Means, Appropriations, Senate Finance. We'll have to see. I know the new commissioner designate Taylor Barra, the former House Speaker. I mean, you could not have gone wrong with somebody like that, honestly. If Jeff hired anybody, that was probably one of if he, out of all the hires that he's going to be making, that by far was one of the best ones. And we haven't seen everybody just yet. But I mean, can't go wrong with Taylor Barra to be the Commissioner of Administration to replace Jay Darden, who's been a complete clown. So there's some optimism there. I mean, Taylor Barra. Essentially Taylor, the governor, John Bel Edwards, have whatever he wanted some kind of way. He did, but you have to consider his counterpart was Senate President John Alario.
Yeah.
We weren't winning. Taylor wasn't winning on anything. That man, nobody crosses that man. So, you have to take into consideration. Now, could it have been worse? Yeah, Taylor Barrod stopped a lot of things, or put it a little milder. But excellent pick. I still think, though, from a conservative standpoint, having an independent legislative leadership would have been good. But that's the game. Again, you have to take 100 years. You got to throw it out the door of business as usual. But again, you got to give all these people, you got to give them a chance. And that's what I plan on doing. So we got some more bad news for Josh Guillory on the screen.
Oh man,
I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Again, I tell you what, I've never met Monique a day in my life. If I had the choice, I would vote for Josh. Because, you vote for people. I mean, and but it's not looking good for Josh. It looks like he probably will be a one-term mayor president, which he'll be the second one-term mayor president because Joe Robideau didn't. I think he got in there one time and they ran him out of there. He didn't run again.
Yeah, he didn't run again. He was bashed by everybody.
Yeah,
and you got to realize too. That's why Josh got in there too, because I don't know. Did Joe Robideau run against Josh Guillory?
No, it was open seat. It was Carly Amlabar, Josh Guillory, and she was a state rep turned. What's her freaking name? There was a few. There was a bunch, but Simone Champagne ran. She was state rep. She was the CFO for Youngsville, and then now she's a Youngsville councilwoman.
But Josh, talking about that though, Josh did get in there very easily the first time, and he ran on his conservative values. And Josh also had some exposure running against Clay Higgins as well. So Josh got in there, but now Josh has a record, and Josh has a lot of things that are hanging over his head. I think that's what hurt Josh this time around. This hurt Josh totally with everything going on in Lafayette Parish and people exposed him. Now, did people do this because they didn't like Josh? Yeah, most probably. But you have left-leaning media or people that just want to remove Josh. Like you said, they're going to find whatever they can to get him out of there.
So, kind of switch gears to St. Martin Parish real quick. Pete Delcom has maintained and grew the 700-plus vote lead against Councilman Dean LeBlanc. And there are about 2 precincts reported. Let's just see where that was. Okay, so probably
35 hasn't reported yet. No, I'm not 35. I'm 36.
So anyway, we'll see. I mean, if Dean turned out the North, good. I mean, good for him. If Pete turned out the South, good for him. Now, it's to be determined right now. But
again, just like Josh Guillory, that's a hard. Now it's not that big of a
high
climb as Josh, but
700's not hard. Now, once you 700, I mean, it just depends. I mean, how hard did you work on election day?
That's the thing.
Where are we finding that 700 on election day? Plus some. Now, if the lead goes to, I would say 1,000, 1,200, and we're looking at all the precincts, and there's not much left, then yeah, I mean it's over. Trust me, things would be a lot different had decisions been made. And whenever we get the results, I promise you, we're going to go on the record. And I really wanted to sponsor tonight's program, because I wanted my logo of my company on the screen when I go off on a marketing company who rips candidates off in brokerage. Because I will be doing it, probably.
So let's see if I can add this to the stage right here. There we go. Look, yeah, there you go,
Yes.
Kelby. So it'll be ready for when you're ready to go.
Mhm.
So, but the put
I don't proclaim to know all the answers, but at the end of the day, this is easy to win, right? You have 43 precincts to worry about. You have 43 precincts to turn out. That's manageable. That's very manageable. That's very easy to win. It's not like a congressional race where you have a gazillion to turn out, or a statewide race where you have a gazillion to turn. It's very easy to win. And I don't know what Pete's doing. I don't know what Dean's doing. I don't know. I'm not a part of their campaign. But that's easy to win. But when you have Dumb and Dumber trying to win things, that's where you get problems.
And that's where, I guess a lot of people would have to, have to make a decision on who's best, because like you said, Dean when Dean announced, everybody thought Dean was going to win this thing outright. And look,
That's the thing. I know. I don't know. I don't know where you're getting that at, because I didn't talk to one person that immediately said that Dean's going to win it just because he's Dean.
I have several people that's like, look, Dean knows what he's doing. Dean has a lot of people had the mindset, hey, Dean's been on there, Dean's going to get it right away. Then we have Pete Daigle come up, and then Kevin joined into the race as well. And Kevin didn't gain too much steam, but Pete did some good stuff, man. Pete interacted with the people. He talked with everybody. He made enough influence in that race to give Pete Dean some run for his money.
Well, the question will be, how many people, and you don't have to say what you did, but how many people do what you did?
Yeah. I give it.
How many people did that?
That's a good question.
Also, but and both ways too. That could happen both ways.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And that's where a lot of people had to make that decision to, hey, do we go with the guy that been in there, or do we go with the new person? And I think that's what a lot of people went on too. Hey, and look, Guy wasn't up there. Guy was not running this time around. And it's just people, well, look, do we want somebody that's been in there for a while? Do we want something new? So there's a lot of stuff that you have to go with.
You mean Chester Cedars?
Yeah. No, I said Guy. Wow, I'm living in the past.
That's a long time ago.
I'm living in the past. Yeah, Chester wasn't on the ballot, so
let's go ahead and look at this dumb race. No offense.
Oh, the Bessie race?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, wasn't that one? That's in Lafayette Parish, correct?
Well, it runs through Lafayette. Yeah. It's Acadia, Beauregard, Calcasieu, Cameron, Jeff Davis, Lafayette. This is also another interesting. This, I like Kevin Burke, and I've been knowing Kevin a long time. Eric Knezek. Knezek ran for Congress against, it was Knezek, Higgins. It was against Higgins. It was the same year Josh ran for Congress as well. 2018, Eric Knezek was one of the candidates.
That race got nasty on both sides. Both sides. I'm not gonna lie. Look, I don't think it was Birkin that did the ad, but
it's a lot of third party. There's a lot of third party money on both sides.
Well, look, it was a funny ad. I look, I'm not voting for this, so it didn't matter to me. But when Brujo and Thibodeau was talking about Knesset, I ain't gonna lie. Whoever thought of that, they need to win an Oscar for political.
I didn't see it. You have to
it was on the radio. It was on KPL where they. I think that Brujo said, "Hey, did you hear about Knesset?" And Thibodeau goes, "God bless you." He goes, "No, I didn't see this. That's his name, Knesset." He goes, "Bless you." So like I said, whoever did that ad, they look.
Yeah, Birkin's not really Cajun either.
No, but no, that race, and look, dude, that is almost a 3,000 vote split. I don't think KLFY called that one yet.
No.
No, they didn't call that one. So, but man, that's another hard hill to climb right there for Knesset's opponent.
Yeah. Well, that still early, but legislative district, state rep district 6, 64.
Yeah, Miss Kelly Alford. I was trying to find if maybe Channel 9 called it out of Baton Rouge, but they ain't throwing nothing on the screen right now.
No, it's too early. Just one of 24 one of 24 precincts reported. So they're probably not going to see anything. Mike Bayham is doing pretty well. I think that's probably a safe Republican district. We'll move on.
Oh well, so I don't know what happened with I don't know if the Secretary of State's website is slow or KLFY is slow, but that race with Knesset and Birkin on KLFY just went 50-50.
It's been 50-50. Yeah, it's been 50-50.
So that's a good not tightening up too much on Lafayette Parish. Like I said, I don't know if they're getting the straight precinct numbers from the Secretary of State, but yeah, that's pretty. Tight.
We're gonna go with because we're gonna go with this right here. So Isaac, pull that up on your phone just to where we're not contradiction, because this is from the horse's mouth right here, and that's where they're going to be getting the results. But it just they have to put that into their program and then up. Right. So this will be the most updated, most up to date numbers that we're gonna have.
And that's why we're running with the state. That's our number one. The Secretary of State's website is our number one go to when we have we have any questions. The only thing we're gonna use KLFY, KTC3, and WAFB is for the calling, basically. We don't have a team here saying, "Hey, we predict this is gonna happen." Unless obvious.
Yeah, and it's hard because I've done it before in the past. Just looking at getting the data, but you have to comb through that, and you can't comb through data on camera and everything. You have to map things out and all that stuff. We're not doing that.
So Kelby, we got Mr. William Wallace on. We're gonna let him join in. And Mr. William, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, guys. How are you?
Doing good,
man. Hey, so statewide elections have come out. Nancy Landry, Liz Monroe, and John Fleming all got they're all in. So statewide elections are good, and they're all in.
Well, how many precincts are reporting right now?
Secretary of State, 63 out of 64 parishes have reported with early. 555 precincts have reported in.
All right. How many?
3,929.
Okay.
But KLFY, KTC3, I think even WAFB, they all called it for those 3 statewide elections to go Republican.
Nice. Yeah, I was looking at the results a minute ago before I came on, and it was like, what was even a majority of the parishes that was reporting. So I didn't know if it was going to be if it was going to be another 30 minutes or so before they called it. But that's awesome. They called it already. And then all 4 amendments passed too. We needed those.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about the amendment yet, Kelby.
I didn't study them, so I have nothing to say.
I got you. Same here. I didn't really look too much. The only one that we have that you probably would have is number 4. Right now, it's leaning towards no. 55% say no. But we still got a lot of precincts coming in right here.
Really? Because last time I was on that one, they had it was leaning towards yes on that one.
Yeah, they changed up a little. Oh, I think we lost him. We lost him for a minute. So William, if you're listening, come back on, man, and we'll get you on.
He looked like he was in the car.
Yeah, he probably just came back from supper. He had some stuff going on today, so. Let me text him but no, the amendments I didn't even look at them. That's bad on my part. We in the future, Calvin, when we have amendments like this, we might have to get a special show just to talk about the amendments. So it gives us an excuse to study them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, PAR. the Parr Amendments
Yeah.
guide. You know, what is it? Something on good government.
Yeah, so we will be hearing back from William in a little while. Hopefully, he can get on. We are waiting on to see Miss Kelly Alfred as well. She's going to be coming on as well. So I'm losing everybody. Kelby, where you went? Oh, there you are. I'm losing everybody. I guess they're like this ain't as fun as the last time.
Do we have any comments? Like people or like, do we have any comments?
No, last one was from Blame Prejean. On that note, whoever's watching, comment, and if you want to let us talk about a certain race, go ahead. How the Vermilion Parish race is going with we got William back on.
I was trying to pull up another tab to look at the amendments, and somehow another kicked us off. But sorry about that.
Oh, that's no problem. That's no problem. But yeah, no, the amendment, that one right there, it's it is leaning towards no, 55%, 44%. And but there's still numbers coming in, so that might change. We were about to talk about the Vermilion Parish sheriff's race. I don't know if anybody heard anything on that.
Who was in the race?
Well, let me go pull it up because I'm looking for Vermilion. There it is. Let's see. Lance Broussard and Eddie Longelet. And it looks like Longelet is probably going to take that one because he got 61% of the votes so far, with 17 out of 66 precincts coming in.
Yeah, Eddie Longelet is favored to win that one, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, he's popular in that area.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that race at all. Sorry, guys.
It's no problem. It's no problem. So what races you're looking into, William? Because at the beginning of the show, that's what we was talking about, the races we were looking into, our predictions and all. What race you looking into?
In my area, I like to see how Michael Bayham is doing out in Chalmette. That's I think it's going to be District 103, maybe.
In the legislation?
Yes. I like to hear about that one. And then you've got I forget the number, but Emily Chenevert is running in Baton Rouge, the Baton Rouge here. I like to see about that one. Those are my two hot ones.
So on 103, Kelby, I don't know if you have those numbers up, but 103, Mike Bayham, that's the one you're looking for?
Yes.
Winning 60% of the vote right now, and Richard Lewis has 40% of the vote, and he had 14 out of 31 precincts reporting in.
Okay.
So, and I'm trying to remember the other one. Kelby, you know what number that is by any chance? With
who's that?
Who is that, William, that you wanted us to look into?
Oh, Emily Chenevert. She's in the Baton Rouge area.
Against Richie Edmonds?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, she's leading at the moment, 59%, 2,100. Richie has 1,500.
Okay.
That's Mike Edmonds' son, right?
Richie Edmonds' son.
Rick Edmonds. Yeah, Rick Edmonds. Yeah.
And Rick was running for state senate.
Yeah, that's Rick's old House district.
That's right.
Mike Johnson even got involved in that race.
I think so. You're right on that one. Yeah, he was. It was the Senate race for Richard Edmonds a runoff.
No, I think Rick won, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so so this is early voting. Richie lost early voting. No election day reporting has gotten in yet. There's 30 precincts. So she beat him in early voting numbers.
Emily did?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's good. She's gonna be really good for the state. She's just a very passionate about our country and our state. She's got some good values. She runs an organization in Louisiana called Moms for Liberty, and so she's really on the right side of the aisle on this one.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now we've been tracking Lafayette Parish and the St. Martin Parish presidential races. It's not looking good for Josh. It's not looking good for Josh.
He's down 3,700 now.
3,700 votes. Monique Boulay, she ran a lot of attack ads. We talked about this race the other day. That just got ugly in Lafayette Parish. Each one were calling each other liars. Josh got mad because Monique called him corrupt, but there is some things in his closet that he done with his administration. I know you were on that side of Louisiana, but what are you hearing on the Lafayette side? Could you come visit Lafayette every so often?
I sure do. I love out there in Lafayette. My brother lives in Lafayette, Josh Guillory. I heard both sides. Both are two different stories. People really, really like Josh, and then there's a lot of people that even though they like him, they don't like some things that he did. Even though they could prove that they weren't illegal, they didn't like the perception of it. And so I think that the perception that he was doing something wrong hurt him, even though many people will say, well, can I have proof that he wasn't doing anything wrong? They still didn't like the perception that he did something wrong. And sometimes it's all it means. That like perception is reality for so many people. That's all it takes. That's why these attack ads work so well. Sometimes you don't have to have the truth, or just have a little bit of the truth. The perception that they can extrapolate off of that plays a much bigger role.
Yeah, perception is reality in politics. If I can make somebody believe something, I did my job.
That's right. Exactly right. So Josh, I talked to people that said, look, he's done a great job for the state. He hasn't done anything wrong in my opinion, but what he did do, has a perception of not being the right thing. So
yeah, I think Josh's biggest downfall, he's a political chameleon. And I know him pretty well. I've been knowing him for a hot minute. And I mentioned this earlier. He was my business law professor at UL. He teaches a course at UL. And he would come into class, and of course, college students, not ultra conservative, blah, blah, blah. So he would say things, and then you'd hear him that following night at Fleur de Lis Republican Women, and it's two different audiences, and he addresses them each differently. One very liberal sounding, one very conservative sounding, and that's what he would do. And to me, that's just like, okay, well, if you flip flopping on things, or if you have one speech for this crowd, where's your core values? Like, what do you really believe in?
Yeah,
I mean, I don't have a value set for one group of people and then another group of people. I have one value set, and take it or leave it. That's what you get. For me, done some great things, controversial, not the clicks candidate, wasn't last time, wasn't this time. Monique is in there with, first of all, her name, that's royalty in Lafayette, Blanco.
Yeah.
The second thing is, she's got very broad voter base. The Democrats are with her because of her family.
Right.
The African American community are with her because of her family. The Republicans, moderate Republicans, who, like you said, don't like the way things look or whatever. Josh is kind of like on his own island, and there's not enough in Lafayette. Lafayette is not right-wing country.
That's exactly right. So, I think, like you just now pointed out, he was his own worst enemy in a lot of areas. Had he just kind of stayed a little bit more even keeled, not changed his tune on some things and maybe played it a little bit more cautiously, he'd still be in office.
Yeah, I mean, he ran against Clay Higgins in 2018, trashed him, and then now you see a picture with him and Clay Higgins and Michael Lunsford, everybody, every 5 minutes. He's not. I'm gonna tell you right now, Josh Guillory is not those Lafayette RPAC. He's not that kind of Republican. It's all for show. He's like, okay, well, who's gonna accept me now? He was politically homeless, basically.
And that'd be a question. That'd be a question you would have to ask two guys, because you bringing that out, Kelby. He will go to one group, say something, then the next. After a while, people start seeing that. Now look,
fake.
And yeah, they look at that. Well, he's not a real person. And look, you talk about Clay Higgins. People might disagree with Clay Higgins, but they say, look, that he's the real deal. You get what I'm saying? He talked like that when he wasn't in office. He's talking like that when he is. Mike Johnson the same way. People that know Mike Johnson say, look, how he presents himself, that's how he is. But like, not Knesset. I can't think of that other congressperson in Louisiana. Garrett Graves. Garrett Graves says one thing here in Louisiana, goes to the Capitol, and he does something totally opposite. People start to notice that and say, hey, we don't want a fake in office.
And with someone like Garrett Graves, you can get away with that, in Congress. You can't get away with it in your hometown, because way too many people know you in your hometown, and word spreads really fast in your hometown. And that's what happened to Josh Guillory. I think the perception that he was doing something wrong, and how he became a political chameleon, as you said a minute ago, really hurt him. Really hurt him.
And look, it didn't say, it didn't help either because this is local to us, and we have a lot of local politics with the situation with the spill banks in St. Martin Parish.
Right.
That was big news as well. And well, we didn't do nothing wrong. Yeah, but you sent a construction crew between 12 at midnight and 2 o'clock in the morning. It just, that don't look good. You might not do nothing wrong, but it don't look good.
And in fact, it was illegal, because the simple fact is he needed permits, and you need permits, and you can't just go, and Chester Cedars practice municipal law, so. The current parish president, he was the attorney for parish government. So, Josh barked up the wrong tree on that one, as far as what's legal and what's not legal, and what needs to happen with charter and that's not over with either. That's gonna be, big time trouble. But it just goes to show you it was reckless. I mean, just like who you're a lawyer, okay, and his wife is a therapist, a psych therapist or whatever. Next thing you know, they're in the construction business. Josh and his wife on LLC with the Secretary of State. I mean, how dumb are you?
It just doesn't look good. So it's interesting. I'm going to jump off for a little bit here. I got some family time. I'm in my car right now. They're all inside, and I'm going to jump back on with you guys here in a little bit. Y'all going to be on here for a while?
Yeah, probably for another hour or so. We're waiting on one of the candidates to give us a call. So we're going to be having Miss Kelly Alford, when she gets some time, coming on sometime in the 9 o'clock hour. So, but we have some other races we have to call. And Lafayette Parish is still open. St. Martin Parish is still open. The Bessie Board, District 7, still open. That tightened up real quick. We have some good races that we can talk about.
Kelly Alford's good.
Yeah, right now she's losing at the moment, but we just gotta wait and see.
Where's her district again?
64.
Where is that?
I believe it's East Baton Rouge. I'm not sure. I think she's around Gonzales. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
But we're waiting on her to come on, and right now she got an uphill battle to climb, but only 13 out of 24 precincts still in, so we have to wait and see.
Remind me who she's running against.
Kelly Dickerson.
Yes. Kelly Dickerson's good though.
So that race, like we pulling for Miss Kelly Alford, but that race it'll be a good seat for either one of those Republicans.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll be in touch with you guys. I'll come back on before 10 o'clock.
All right, my friend. Yeah, thank you for coming on.
Oh, my pleasure. Look, I tell you, my pleasure. Look, I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be a part of your show. Y'all do a fantastic job. And look, anytime you want me on, I'm happy to hop on. It's an honor for me to join you all. But I'll come back on before I'll close out tonight.
All right, thank you, William. Appreciate you coming on.
Talk to you soon.
So that was Mr. William Wallace from William Wallace in America coming on. So Kelby, you got
the numbers real quick.
Yeah, go ahead and share your there you go. Oh wait, we got Miss Kelly Alford is on right now. So let's go ahead and bring her on. I can bring the numbers on too, and with Miss Kelly. So Hey, Miss Kelly, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Isaac. How are you?
We're doing good. We're doing good. Miss Kelly, this is Kelby Daigle, chairman of the St. Martin Parish RPEC, with us tonight.
How are you doing, sir? It's a pleasure.
Hi, I'm doing good. Nice to meet you.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Miss Kelly, we've seen the numbers, and we got a lot of you. A lot of the precincts are coming in, 15 out of 24. Have you heard anything? Did they tell you anything was going on, or what?
No, not yet. We're just waiting for the numbers to come in. Of course, from analysis perspective, it's not what you want to see, but at the same time, my assignment was to go through that finish line. So we're not completely there yet. So we're going to wait and see.
So how's the night going? You see you at a party right now. You're in good spirits.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. 100%. We're having a great time. Everybody's just very enthusiastic and supportive and excited to finish this race.
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Kelby, you got a question, my brother?
Yeah, just wondering if you and the team know where the outstanding vote is and how we feel as far as optimism.
So, okay, you said what the what vote was?
Yeah, the outstanding vote. Do you and the team know where the outstanding vote is in the district?
No, not completely just yet. I mean, we've gotten early voting, and then a few precincts have reported, but there's a few precincts that I did good in primary during the primary that haven't come in yet. So we're just kind of waiting to see. But we're very optimistic. Like I said, at the end of the day. I said yes. I had my Isaiah moment where it was, "Here I am, Lord, send me, I will go." And I said yes to this assignment and stepping into serving the people. And, that's it. I've done my assignment and we're excited. We've worked hard. All of my volunteers and family members and, just friends, close friends and colleagues, we've worked really, really hard and, knocked on doors and got out there and stuff. So at the end of the day, I mean, we've had a low turnout. That's one of the main things is, a lot of people just didn't get out and vote, but we'll just have to see who did and if they were in my camp or not.
Yeah, and that's you're not the only one telling us that's a problem. We have a lot of people we've talked to tonight. Well, a lot of people that come on, and that's just one of the things is very low turnout, and it's sad that we have the opportunity to vote in our elected officials, and people just take it for granted.
Yeah, it really is unfortunate, and I think a lot of the apathy is because of the state of our nation and what we've gone through as a state for the last 8 years. People have just buried their heads and they just think to themselves, why bother? What is the point? We have corruption in every aspect of our government, and nothing that I do, even my vote, doesn't even matter. I mean, they just think that. And so they just live life and think, I'm just going to go to work and I'm going to do what I can and provide for my family and just hope for the best.
Kelby, you got a question, my brother?
Yeah, so I'm not really familiar with the campaign. Kind of tell us a little bit about what if you're elected tonight, what are you interested? We have a lot of problems here in Louisiana. Just a few things to tackle if you are fortunate to win tonight.
Absolutely. So, I'm a grassroots populist candidate, and my intention is to bring back the sovereignty of we the people and the voice of the people, where a lot of times elected officials go to the Capitol or wherever and they get alongside and work with special interests or lobbyists or other elected officials, and they do what they think is best, and not necessarily to knock that completely, but at the same time, for me, I want to take the voice of the people to the Capitol. I want to take what matters to them, the concerns that they have, and then go to those lobbyists, go to those people who can help make that happen and bring that solution to the people and get it in proper perspective, because our voices have been muted for far too long. As far as like, policy or legislative, there's a lot of good bills that were killed last year or that the governor vetoed that we need to revisit. Having our right to our personal health is a big thing for me, and why Stand for Freedom of Louisiana endorsed me, because I stood up against that during the shutdown, and I believe that we should have the right to decide what we do with our health. And so I will work alongside with, Kathy Edmondson had a great bill last year and it was vetoed or it was killed. And then, of course, there's just, our governor, the office of our governor has a lot of power. I think we're second to New Jersey. And, when you have a good governor, you don't feel that. But when you have a bad governor, we've felt it because, during the COVID shutdown and the authority that he had, um, you know, he shouldn't have had that level of authority, and it's because of what the Constitution affords us. So those are things that I would like to address. Obviously, tax reform is a big thing for me. Insurance, getting those rates down. The people are struggling. Really, my heart is the people. Bottom line, whatever the people want, I'm going to go after it. But I mean, my background is business and being fiscally responsible and making hard decisions, good decisions, and with the outcome of sustainability and success.
Well, Miss Kelly, we know you know you're a busy person. Please keep us updated on your race. If you want to jump back on later on, just shoot me a text and we'll get you back on. But best of luck to you, and hope the numbers start turning around.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Isaac. Thank you,
No
guys.
problem,
Y'all have
Miss
a good
Kelly.
evening.
You have a good
Awesome.
evening.
Thank you.
Take care.
Best of
God
luck.
bless. Yes, sir. Thank you. Bye-bye.
So that was Miss Kelly Alfer. She's running for State Representative 64 right now. Not looking too well for her, but they're waiting on them other precincts to come up, and she is correct on that, Kelby. Them precincts last time, she thought she would lose, and when them precincts started coming up, she got into the runoff. So we just got to see how the vote turns out.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. Still kind of early. Let's go ahead and get back into a little local St. Martin Parish. We do have some new numbers. Byron Fugely is back in the, has a slight lead over Hoyt Louviere, and Pete Delcombe's numbers went up, and it just went up a little more because we did get some fresh numbers in. 28 of the 43 precincts have reported in, and let's check the deficit. 31.58. Yep. So 1,200. I mean, again, 1,200. That's
It's that hill's starting to get a little harder for Dean. I hate to say it. It looks like it's going to.
The thing is, yeah. I mean, and it's you had a runoff in the South. You had two runoffs in the South. That increased turnout as well. It just, it is what it is in that respect. I mean, is there 1,200 votes, in the North?
Yeah,
that can do some justice.
And that's where like I said, it's still early on. We still got half of the precincts still gotta show up or still gotta report. But that's where Dean's gotta hope that them later precincts come out for him, and it needs to come out soon.
Yeah.
But look at the precincts. Look, you just showed number 25. There was only 45 people that voted 47 people that voted for parish president in precinct 25. That's not good, man. And that's not early. I know that's not early numbers, but what is that early numbers?
Probably it's combined, probably.
Wow. But still, man, it's not a good voter turnout, man.
Yeah. And then Monique Blanco again has grown the lead. She's about 3,700 votes ahead of Josh Guillory, and I think they'll be calling that one soon for Monique Blanco. And I believe she'll be the first woman parish president in Lafayette Parish.
Really? I didn't know they had. I thought that'd be historically that would be a good stepping stone.
If I had to take a guess, I think she will be. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you called this earlier. You say you think Josh would not have a good night.
Just think about this real quick though. If she's a good mayor president, if she somehow elevates her profile, her mother was the governor. Her mother was a state representative. Her mother was a member of the Public Service Commissioner. Her mother was the lieutenant governor of Louisiana. Think about that.
Yep.
As you go in the future, and if she's a good, if this works out for her, then, she could, and she's still relatively young, she could be the next rock star. Women tonight, 2 women from Lafayette are going to be holding statewide office. It's not an all man's club no more as far as statewide office. You're going to have Liz Muriel and Nancy Landry, finally evening things out, for the longest. I mean, we've had very few statewide elected women.
And this is where it's going to be the challenge for Monique Blanco, because she's running as a Republican. She has to hold some Republican values as well. So a lot of people that think she's going to come in here, as the Josh Guillory campaign was, she's liberal, she's going to turn us into New Orleans. She can't do that, really.
Well, she could if she wanted to, but yeah. the thing is, what people are not understanding is, maybe she was a Democrat, and I believe she was a Democrat. I believe she was wholeheartedly a Democrat. But there are the AOCs of the world, and then there are the, Democrats that are not as crazy. Her mother was a pretty conservative woman. I mean, a conservative governor, who believed in tax cuts and believed in lower taxes for businesses and whatever. I mean, had Katrina not happened,
That's what I was about to say. Katrina,
and that was a whole, mess. But the thing is, she's not. If she was, let's face it, Josh Guillory endorsed John Bel Edwards in 2016.
Yeah,
and I have the receipts if you don't believe me.
Yeah. Well, people don't remember that though, Kelby. People don't remember that.
Let's go
on her.
What's the difference? She can't run on that, obviously, because then it would be something that, she don't want to go there, and obviously for good reason.
But let's go with this point too, though, Kelby. Okay, she's a Democrat. Like I said, look, I'm gonna use my dad for example. My dad's a registered Democrat. I never remember my dad voting Democrat, but my dad never ran for public office either. You get what I'm saying? Now, if my dad would ever decide to run for public office, the first campaign ad's gonna come out against him. This lifelong Democrat is running as a Republican. That's the only way he's gonna win. Well, you can't go with that type of logic, because he voted Republican all his life.
You see, whatever I say is backed up in facts.
Yeah.
This is Josh Guillory. And yes, this was printed out. Opposition. We love opposition research. Contradicting the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. I have a very funny Mike Johnson story. I don't know if anybody would be interested in it. You want to know?
Even that, he says, I have voted for David Vitta in each of his Senate campaigns. I cannot support him as the leader of our executive branch.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. He still endorsed John Bel Edwards. So
yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
Right. We want to talk about who's more Republican. That's just silly at this point. So anyway,
so before we do anything else, we haven't done this in a while, so I'm gonna go ahead and add this to the stage right here. We are sponsored tonight by Ignite Marketing. The owner of this company is sitting with us right now. So if you want some marketing for your company, or if you're a political candidate and need somebody to help run your campaign, go to Ignite Marketing. We have worked with Ignite Marketing on several occasions, some with some political candidates. IgniteMarketingLA.com. Kelby, you're the owner of this company, man. And look, we have one of you guys that you helped work with. He just gave you a handshake. Hey, look at that, man. So Blaine Prejean, you did help Blaine Prejean with some stuff for his campaign. Blaine, thank you for coming on, man. We glad you into the chat. But yeah, so Ignite Marketing, man, go check them out at ignitemarketingla.com. So
appreciate the plug.
No problem. You're not biased a little bit, this is probably one of the best marketing companies in your opinion, huh?
No, there are people that are much better than me, but
Hey, baby steps, man. Baby steps.
But no, it's about I'm pretty good, but can you, I'm affordable. If
that's a good
somebody
thing.
else is, big name, big DC firm, they're not going to give you the time of day. I'll try to help you out.
I hear you. So, well, let's go back to them numbers, Kelby. Let's go ahead and pull them up. We have some other races that we're looking into. State Senate District 21, KLFY has called that for Robert Allen. The Republican and everything. So did I say it Alan or Eileen?
Alain.
You
gotta make it sound Cajun. Come on, you're the Cajun conservative.
I gotta make it sound Cajun, T-Beb.
That is Senator Alain's son. So it's a little nepotism going on. But yeah, it's we have right now the parish president's race.
Dude, it's man. And look, we were surprised at the beginning last month when Pete got in there. I thought that was gonna be a lot closer race than it did. But see, this goes to another part too. The people that voted for Kevin did.
So we have a race call.
Okay,
a big one. Monique Blanco Boulay has beat Josh Guillory.
So they called it.
Yeah, she will be the new parish president for the city mayor president in Lafayette.
Who called that, Kelby?
Channel 10.
Okay, because I just refreshed it and it didn't let me know who won that one. So, yeah. But yeah, wow.
So, Kelby could have called that one because it's just, I mean, the numbers, and look, honestly, Josh obviously has got to take some time to self-reflect. I think he's got to reflect on what happened, and I don't think we've seen the last of Josh Guillory. I wish him the best. It's not easy governing. It's not easy making deals with the devil. It's not easy doing this stuff. And again, I really strongly believe when I tell you, good person, caring person, funny. He's a very good person. And at the end of the day, it's all about politics.
Yeah,
politics is business. And Monique, I'm sure is all of those things too, but I don't know her, so I can't speak to that. But I think hopefully it's not the last we've seen of Josh. And it's unfortunate that
you see him coming maybe back
all what happened. Just everything is unhappened. The shady stuff. He had some personal issues as far as alcohol. Personal issues. He had some the protests. There was a point in time he was an elected official during COVID, which was not easy for anybody. Not easy for anybody, Republican, Democrat, whatever, to navigate that. To really have your whole term ransacked. Half of his term was COVID.
Yep.
Right when you get sworn in.
And then you have that controversy of, you're going to listen to the governor and put in his mandates, or you're going to tell people not to do it. And look, like you said, Kelby, look, even Donald Trump was plagued with that. Everybody thought, well, Donald Trump isn't going to do this and this and this. And he listened to so-called experts and he did that. And look, it plagued his presidency. So like you said, it just didn't affect Josh. It affected every political candidate and political figure out there.
and I don't know if I should be sharing this, but I will because we're kind of providing people information.
Okay.
I did get a text from Dean LeBlanc,
Okay.
and not optimistic.
Okay.
Um, and he believes that it's not optimistic, and I'll share later. Um, I'll share more later, but it's
It's not looking too good for Dean.
not looking good, for Dean. And look, Dean and Pete, both good people. So
Yeah. And look, totally opposite from the Lafayette Parish president's race, where you had mudslinging all over the place. And this
right.
race was they didn't run on criticizing the other person. They ran on their
Well,
experience.
they just didn't do it publicly. No, they Pete and everybody. Trust me, they did things that you just don't know about. But there were things that were done. But I didn't want to say it earlier when you mentioned that. But no, there were things that were done. There was mud. I promise you, it was mud.
But it wasn't
No,
mud.
it's just we don't live in a market. We don't live in the Lafayette market where you need to put the mud on the TV.
Correct. Yeah.
You put the mud elsewhere.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, Dean ran on his record and Pete ran on his record. I received the junk mail, not the junk mail. I'm sorry. I have a very hate relationship with mail. I've got the mail pieces, and they all were on there. They all listed everything, accomplishments, accolades, whatever. You compare the records. Obviously Dean was in a position to have a record. Pete was not in parish government. And I really could spill the tea if I really. You see, it's hard. It really is hard, Isaac. And I feel like you have me in front of this camera, and because you see, I'm an insider in a sense, right? I get the scoop. I know the scoop. It's hard to not spill the scoop out.
Yeah.
But there was questions was asked today for a reason. And maybe we'll have a rant later on. I don't know. I don't feel like having one because I feel it's just stupid at this point. But interesting stuff.
Yeah. And but on the scale back of mudslinging, I think this was it was very clean. It was a very maybe it wasn't squeaky clean, but it was it would pass for a picture on a billboard or something, I guess you could say. But look, on the different note too, Pete and Dean would have made both two fine parish presidents. And like I said, unfortunately, we have to 34 out of the 43 precincts that are coming in is showing that, hey.
Well, hold on. May I say something?
Go ahead.
Pete didn't hire idiots. Dean did. Dean hired idiots. Dean hired two lowlifes who scam people into thinking they know what they're doing. They scam people. And that's what happened. So you have one person who I don't know who worked with. There is a race call that you are interested in. Kelly Hennessy Dickerson will be the next state representative.
Okay.
Beating Kelly Alford. That's from Channel 9.
Yeah, I didn't get no update on that. I've been looking around. But
we appreciate her for coming on, and hopefully she continues to be a grassroots and it don't stop people losing. Some people it don't stop people, right? You take the ball, go home, boudet a little bit, but at the end of the day, you come back into the arena and you try again.
Well, let's go. Using prime example of that.
And Tangi won, by the way. Tangi Narcisse won. She beat whoever the hell that was.
Yeah, Glenn
Gaplin.
Yeah. I'm not sure who that is. I haven't met everybody on the board, but let's go.
He's a Republican with the. Just continue.
So on the note of not giving up, like Dan Bongino, okay, Dan Bongino ran for 3 offices
and lost them all. And
but
was never going to win anything because he's a reject.
But
what about Dan Bongino?
But what about Dan Bongino? To look at it,
he lost to New York, went to Florida, and lost twice.
But what? Okay, he lost all his races,
and then he replaced the greatest of all time, Rush Limbaugh, for no reason.
No, he ain't no Rush Limbaugh. I would sit here and say Dan Bongino ain't no Rush Limbaugh.
No, he replaced him. He replaced him.
Yeah, he replaced him in the time slot. But at the same time, you can't lie though. This man does have a following, and he still has an influence.
They're grifters.
Well, I understand right. What you're saying, but at the same time, you talk using that as an example. I'm trying to affirm what you were saying. Just don't sit in a corner and lose. You might have something else you could do as well on the side.
Yeah, right. Okay.
So see, I was trying to give you a compliment. You back. You trying to. No, I'm messing with you. All right, what's up?
Bessie.
Let's go check that out.
That's changed a little bit. Kevin Birkin on top, probably gonna win.
That flipped real quick.
Mm-hmm. Canary's a little short dude.
I don't know. Hey, look, I'm not trying to.
You remember? You didn't watch. Did you watch SpongeBob?
Yes.
Okay, the whale.
Mr. Krabs' daughter.
Right, he's built like that.
Square. Okay. But no, that race turned. All because Knesset was winning at the beginning of it. As the precincts came in, he started losing.
Yeah. And I think let's see. Let's go back and see.
What about 6? Let's go look at 6. I want to go look at 65 because we were talking about that earlier. And it looks like Ivy's not gonna be taking his brother's spot. Yeah, them numbers really flipped on their head right there.
Yeah, but it's still 4 in.
Yeah, I didn't see the percentage of that. So
Richie Edmonds.
Yeah, that's the one that William was looking at earlier too.
Yeah. Let's see. This was interesting. So this dude was attacking Barbara and said she was a liberal Republican, but he's a conservative Democrat.
Is there anything? Is there just a such thing as a conservative Democrat running for office?
Like he friended me on Facebook, the candidate, whatever his name is, and so I'm like, who the hell? I'm like, who the hell is this? Because I don't know who the hell he is.
Yeah,
and I saw his literature, and I'm like, what kind of crap?
So Kelby, you remember you was talking about your love-hate relationship with Mel? Blaine said it the best way. Look, here we go.
It is expensive, and you guess where it goes? The garbage can. So I have a P.O. box in Cecilia, and so I go check the P.O. box, and I open the P.O. box, I get my junk mail out, and then I bring it straight to the trash can. And I look in the trash can, and there was literally full. You had Jeff's face, they had none guesses, they had everybody's face in the trash can because they threw all the mail away, and there was at least probably $100,000 of faces in that trash can, probably even more.
Well, overall, Kelby, because it's 9:30 right now, and we're waiting on William to come back on. I like to get William's thoughts. We haven't heard from Chad. I'm surprised Chad hasn't texted.
Yeah, Chad said it's too loud. He's at the Blanco headquarters.
Oh, okay.
And I forgot to tell you that. So Chad is at Monique's headquarters, and it's too loud in there. And he said he's going to call when he is on the road.
So Halen Seaman, I guess that's her name. If I'm sorry I said your name wrong, apologize.
Seymour,
dude. Anyway, Miss Seymour, who's winning Bessie? Which district? Because we just talked about District 7, and I saw District 4 a while ago.
Only 2, so we can cover both of them real quick. Bessie District 4, the Republican is probably going to win that. Stacey Mellarine, and then Eric Knezik and Kevin Birkin. Kevin Birkin's probably going to win that too. The thing is, Kevin Birkin's from Southwest Louisiana, so Calcasieu, Beauregard, and he'll do well there. Knezik will do well in the Lafayette area, but at the end of the day, obviously Birkin is kind of favored to win that. Why does he want that? I have no idea. I don't know why. It doesn't pay, and it's just pointless. But whatever. So that's what's going on in the two Bessie runoffs that controls your kids in public schools. Education.
So that's what's going on with Bessie. We will have a Republican that will win both in spots, but at the same time, the Bessie board, man, they have a lot of issues, and unless it gets fixed, and this goes back to, we were talking about Jeff and everything like that. What Jeff's gonna do, and what's the legislation gonna do? Because it's supermajority House and supermajority Senate. So our legislation is bright red. It just isn't red; it's bright red.
Yeah, but I mean how good is that though? If it's bright red, because let me tell you something, Republicans got some crazy ideas too. Yeah.
Oh, I know, and this is what makes us like the black sheep of the family, because we just don't attack the far left.
But the thing is, look, you have to teach history, right? You can't whitewash history. There are bad things that have happened in this country's history. Is it still the greatest country? Sure, but there are some bad things that has happened. And, are we going to start rolling back, inclusiveness, however they say it. We can't move forward and then say, oh, well, we can't teach history. We can't teach certain history, or we have to start pointing out people, or whatever. I mean, we can't do that. And I feel there are some Republicans that just want to, go in there and not have everybody represented. I mean, Republicans crap on DEI. Well, let's have everybody at the table. We don't need to just have certain people at the table. Make it look as if what is the foundation of this country. So Republicans don't have all the answers. They can be a little crazy, a little extreme, just like the Democrats. Well, they can't be a little, there are a lot of crazy, but just got to be careful when we're saying things like that. But we do have definitive answers in Lafayette. So Monique won by 2,267 votes.
Before we go to there is some breaking news, and can you pull up the Bessie results again? Miss Simone said her Wi-Fi was having issues, and she didn't hear our reply to it. But we have Knesset is losing right now, and the District 4, I believe, is the other Republican that is winning. I can't think of the name at the moment. District 4, Moline is winning, and Burkham is winning in those races right now. Have a race just come across my iPad, Kelby. Pete Daigle is projected to win the St. Martin Parish presidential race. So Pete Daigle is going to be the new St. Martin Parish president.
Yeah, and so now I'll share. Dean said Pete is going to win. So
Look, the numbers, as the numbers were coming in, you could see it was down, man. But look, props to Pete, man. Pete took the first round and he took the runoff. So
Pete is let me text something real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Look, Pete is I've gotten to know Pete over the last few years. Pete, is a good person. I'll tell you an interesting story. Everybody on the committee obviously didn't want me to leave.
Yeah.
Okay. And to me, I think that's a selfish thing, right? I'd say that with all respect. If someone wants to leave something or wants to move on, don't hold them for self or make them feel guilty as if they shouldn't leave. Well, a few of the committee were like, no, please reconsider. We need you. What's going to happen? If he was the only one who, when we talked about it, it's like, you know what? I understand why you want to leave, and I don't blame you. You need to move on. You need to focus on school, right? Because I'm still finishing up my bachelor's, and focus on school, focus on you. And Pete was the only one. Now there's some other ones who are like, bye, Felicia. We want to see you out here.
Later,
Lunsford's gonna throw a party. Just I don't really care. But Pete was the only one who really was, Pete and Chad. Really, Chad never was like. Chad was kind of caught off guard by it. But so I really respect that Pete understood that you want to move on and you need to focus on other things, and so it just kind of goes to his character in a sense. I think we're in good hands, and we'll see in 4 years. Pete's about, and Pete, me and Pete would talk because I was once a candidate, and kind of the things that rubbed me the wrong way was rubbing him the wrong way, as far as talking to people and kind of being asked to do things that you kind of have to do. It comes on with the territory. Will you do this favor? Will blah blah blah. And that's something we had connected on because I said I always didn't feel that it was right, or my thought was, in your shirt, do you have a wire? Are you taping me for the FBI? You trying to catch? Trying to get me caught up? Because that's what they do. You go and you got to kiss the ring, and you have to. Oh yeah, I'll do this for you. Yeah, if I get elected, I'll do this for you. And it just there's some of the things we had talked about, and congratulations to him. And came out of nowhere.
Well, and like I said, so you remember at the beginning of this race, the St. Martin Parish presidential race, because we did talk to Chris Tozan earlier, and there was buzz around that he was going to run. And when he decided to keep his seat, everybody was like, "Oh man, well, the Dean's running. That's it. It's done." You get what I'm saying? Then Pete comes up, and that election day, a lot of us were thinking, well, look, Pete's in there, it might be close, but we think Dean's going to pull it out. And Pete came out, said, well, look, I'm going to pull a rabbit out of my hat, and now he's the parish president. Look, same thing with Monique Boulay. A lot of people like, well, look, Jane Swift, Josh Guillory, they might have a shot, but not Monique Blanco Boulay. And look who pulled that out on top.
Yeah, I mean, look, you have to, you just have to work hard and not be you have to work together, and you're gonna have to. People took sides. People took sides in that, and you have to leave that. You have to leave the politics at the door, right? Politics at the door. Now it's time to govern. Pete's walking into something, the biggest challenge of his professional career. Chris Tozan said earlier, you're an administrator. You are the CEO. You are running things from the top down. You're managing people that are managing people that are managing people, right? Org chart.
Yeah.
You're the top of the org chart. You're responsible to parish government. You're responsible to that council, and then you're responsible to 34,000 some people, or how much ever is in the parish. You're responsible to all these people, the voters. So it's going to be interesting to see how he adapts to that. He's going to have to adapt to it, and I think a lot of people give that position. position too much.
And look at it though.
You look too much. What word I'm trying to look for? Because they say, "Oh, it's so challenging. It's such a hard job." I mean, come on, it's a parish president.
Well, and look at this
Of a
though too.
rural parish. Come on, it can't be that hard.
But look at this as well. Let's go ahead and look at it at this standpoint too. A lot of people saying, "Well, he got to manage this. He got to do that." Pete owned his home business for years. He is.
Yeah, but I mean, the structure. There's no Isaac. There's no comparison that. I mean, there's no comparing that the structure of a small business.
I understand.
Construction company versus parish government. You can't compare that. I mean, it's departmentalized. There's multi-million-dollar budgets. You have to get revenue. You have to get revenue projections. You have to manage people. I mean, he's going into something that I don't think there's a comparison in his past career. Now, Dean, on the other hand, Dean has worked with multi-million-dollar budgets at Dow, and Dean, I believe, managed people. So there is some relatability to that. But I mean, it'd be like me running Ignite. Now I'm going to be the parish president.
Yeah,
okay?
I get what you're saying.
That's a big difference, or even the company I work for full time. But when my other job, my recruiting job, I mean, there's, the president, there's the CEO, there's the CFO, there's all of these people. And then it just drops down, I have a supervisor, chief people officer, the CEO. I mean, it goes on and on and on. People who I have to answer to. So it's a very different thing.
On a different note, we talked about it a little bit tonight, so I feel we need to go ahead and bring this out. The sheriff of a million parish will be Eddie Londelay, won with 62% of the vote, guys.
Eddie's got a lot of law enforcement experience.
Oh yeah,
a lot.
And I think that's why he won like he did, because I think he served like under 4 sheriffs before he decided to run. I think that was he's gonna make a good sheriff of a million parish.
Yeah.
So but yeah, guys, so look, statewide, Nancy Landry wins as Secretary of State. She's gonna continue her old boss's job. I think she was right under Kyle, right? I think she was like
first assistant secretary. Yeah, she's right under Kyle.
Liz Monroe was the Solicitor General. She goes ahead and she wins. She's now the Attorney General. She gets a promotion. John Fleming, former Chief of Staff to former Assistant Chief of Staff to Donald Trump, wins for Treasury. Kelby, me and you will never run for that position. Our name is not John. Because say, look,
John Kennedy, John Schroeder, John Fleming.
I think that's a requirement to run for Treasury. That's why everybody has lost. The people go into the voting booth like Treasurer. Oh, it ain't a John. We're not voting for.
Ooh, talk about a downgrade in the treasurer's office.
Stop it, Kelby. Stop it.
John Schroeder to John Fleming.
All the amendments.
He's just running for that. He's just running for that to run for the Senate.
Well, and look, we talked about this when we had we had an engagement with a political person. I'm gonna say it like that. But we talked about this. What is behind some of the candidates?
What are you talking about?
When we went to dinner at the
okay.
Yeah. So we went to dinner with a state rep. Let's just say it like that. I don't know if he wants us to. Anyway, but
Chad Boyer.
See, I didn't say it. If he gets mad, is that you? I didn't say it.
You can get mad at me. I don't care.
No, but
I don't work for him. Not yet.
That was one of the conversations we had. Was what?
I don't remember that. I don't remember talking about. I don't.
Well, we sat there. We sat there for 2 hours, so we talked about a lot of stuff.
I know. I should have got drunk.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
want to be a bad influence to the representative elect.
Well, hold on. I was just thinking about something. You said drunk. I was like, well, I don't want to see. I said I don't want to see Kelby drunk, but I did see you drunk at Pat's one time, and I was like, I'm getting out of here. But no, but
you should have saw me at Pizza Village last weekend.
Oh, what happened at Pizza Village?
Shout out to Marissa, I think it was her name, Mariah. I called her Mariah, Molly, every name in the book because I couldn't remember her name. I was very drunk.
Uh-oh.
It was my birthday dinner party. And I really should not be saying this on camera.
Hey,
But we had a good time. And
Kelby admits that he ran when you running for some. Kelby admits
I ain't running for crap. And shout out to my podcast coming out in 2024.
yes, we weren't talking too much about that, but hey, you
Yeah,
will.
well,
Also,
we're back. I'm starting it back.
I guess you could also say you're a contributor to the Cajun Conservative Show because every time we have some donations, we call you.
Yeah, look, as long as the check's clear.
No, they bounce. They bounce like a rubber ball, bro.
That's not good.
Yeah, but there's nothing in the bank to write. So hey, that's okay. Let's just hope Ben Shapiro don't have a fight with Candace Owens and
that's stupid. All those people are stupid. They're all dumb, and I hate them all because they're all just so self-absorbed crap. Candace Owens is about as dumb. You see this thing right here?
Uh-huh.
This is Alexa, okay? That's dumb. That's Candace Owens. It's very dumb.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. I think she's her and Ben.
Right, you're right. I shouldn't insult Alexa. You're right. You're very right. She is dumb. She's an idiot, a grifter. Hasn't said one intelligent thing ever. And she cashes y'all checks to the bank. She cashes y'all checks and she's sitting in with her little British husband and her little British babies. And she, doing everything, and she
look on the subject of that. I know that's not state related, and we're gonna have to get off this rabbit trail. But with her and Ben Shapiro on this topic of she's not standing by the Jewish people and stuff like that. Hey, look, Ben Shapiro's her boss, man. You get what I'm saying?
No, he's not. He's actually not. He's
part owner of it. You get what I'm saying?
He's not an executive position. He can't fire her or tell her what to do. I read that somewhere, and that's why she's getting away with. First of all, Ben Shapiro is
on a different note. This is for the Lafayette people. Hold that thought. Lafayette City Council District 1. Elroy Broussard went ahead and took that seat. So he is the Lafayette City Council District elect. So go ahead and continue with your thoughts.
Did you interrupt me before?
Yeah, I just wanted to let everybody. That's all. Go ahead.
Okay, CNN, calm down. I don't even remember what was I saying?
You're talking about Candace Owens. Like he was Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, Candace Owens, right. Ben Shapiro is one of those people, just like the Christians, like they're obsessed with it. He's obsessed on the Jewish side, and he's, first of all, let me just tell you this. You either with Hamas or you with peace, right? The Palestinian people have been caught up in this. The Jewish people are caught up in this. What happened, that terrorist attack, is horrible. What they're doing to people is horrible. Burning people, beheading people, raping women, just being absolutely animals. It's disgusting. It's horrible. So, but there are so many people still anti-Semites. They're still very much, they don't like the Jewish people. And the left has really been exposed. I mean, because these people, and which we all knew that, but even the Democrats are like, what the hell? Hillary Clinton has this so right. Surprising. I've never said that before.
I was going to say, man, that's a statement that probably will never come out your
mouth again. Because everyone's calling for a ceasefire. She's like, but no, the ceasefire is just not going to solve nothing. It's going to let them recoup, and then they're going to attack the Israeli people. And Hillary Clinton's really and Bill Clinton too is very intellectual, very smart on this stuff. I mean, you couldn't get an answer like this from Trump if you wanted to. The history of it, with Bill Clinton's administration, what they tried to do, and what Bush tried to do, and what about, like, there's so much that has went into this, into where they are now, as far as like Hamas taking over, having democratic elections, and just kind of it unfolding and the terrorists taking over. But you cannot. America can't be isolationist, right? We can't just say, you know what, everybody just fend for yourself. No, we are the leader of the free world. And that is a position we've accepted a long time ago. And if we don't maintain that, then China, you want China to take over the world?
Yep,
Come on.
exactly.
So we have to be very careful when we are talking about, oh, well, let's not help Ukraine. Let's let Putin invade a country. Would you want to speak Russian? Do you want to speak Russian soon? Do you think those people want to speak Russian soon? No. Do you think the Jewish people they just want to live? People just want to live. And when you have dictators like Putin, like Xi, and when you have Republicans choosing communism, choosing dictators, and they do, like Tucker. That's the most pro, and I'm so happy he's off TV. The most pro-Russian propagandist in the country. The CIA should freaking call him. I mean, you ever seen that show, the Americans? He's basically the Americans, an American.
And look, you can disagree. You can disagree with Tucker on that because I disagree.
I disagree with. He's a traitor. He's unpatriotic, and because if you side with Russia,
and
you choose Russia, just like if you choose Xi Jinping, and if you choose Lil Kim up there in North Korea, then you are endorsing that.
Because look, when the Ukraine war came out, I was for it. Okay, look, hey, Ukraine, fight for you. You know, same thing with Israel. Fight to defend yourself. What gets me upset about Ukraine is that they're not like Israel. Okay, we send money to Israel, but you don't see Benjamin Netanyahu coming to this country, going in front of Congress and saying, hey, look, give us God knows how much money.
Who cares? He's trying to win. He's trying to win the war.
But you notice Benjamin Netanyahu saying, look, we're going after him. We don't care. Now, the different side with Ukraine, what's that? No. He clips his
Ukraine didn't ask for it.
Ukraine didn't ask.
Israel didn't ask for it.
The thing about Ukraine, though, is we're sending so much money over there. Look, our last package, 60% of that package of that $106 billion was going to go to Ukraine. 60%. I would see 60% staying in our country. But when you only had like 10 to 15% going to Israel, nah, dude, there's something going on in Ukraine. And that's my opinion on that. But
it's a conspiracy theory. The bottom line is they need to fight for they need to fight what they. I mean, look, you either you want people who tie people up and shoot them in the back of the head.
Absolutely not. No, absolutely not.
Well, then look. First of all, we don't have the money anyway. Whatever we're writing about.
Yeah, we write them a check and we write our own.
So there we go. So I mean, if they don't care, then we don't care.
But anyway, so we went down a rabbit trail. But anyway, my big stories of the night, Kelby. Before we wrap up, we're gonna give you one last promo code. Unfortunately, William couldn't make the rest of the night, but hey, that's okay. We can get him next time on election night. I think the biggest story would be the two parish presidents races. Pete Delcom becoming the St. Martin Parish president-elect, and Monique Boulay beating out Josh Guillory. I think that's one of the biggest stories. That story is you can look at it both ways. It was an anti-Josh race, or they were just tired of Josh's policies. But I think it was the corruptions that hurt Josh and everything else like that. So those are my two big stories. We already knew about the 3 statewide elections, how that would go.
Yeah, I went to the UPS store in Lafayette today, and I was like, because you have people waving signs, everything. I was like, yeah, you just can feel it. I was like, yeah, she's going to win. She just a little quote from the mayor president-elect. She says, quote, I have to thank voters most of all. We get to decide. I'm humbled. I will represent our entire community. People want a healthy economy for our families to grow and a safe community. I will represent everyone to solve our complex problems It's okay if we disagree. We'll come up with solutions together. I ask each of you to walk that walk with me. We will have a public announcing of the legal and financial decision at LCG, public accounting of the legal and financial decision at LCG. We will end financial waste in fighting lawsuits. We will bring good jobs to Lafayette, and we will unify our people. People want change. That's why Pete Daigle won, essentially. People get blamed for things that's not under their control. Again, like William said earlier, perception.
Yep.
Right? Perception is everything.
Decisions.
Decisions are made. Josh Guillory decided to, latch on to people who are not popular, who cannot win, who do not win. And that's on him.
But let's give some props to Josh though too. Josh did some great things for Lafayette Parish too. Unfortunately, the good things he didn't override the what it looks like he did. You get what I'm saying? So that's
people got to get out of a bubble. People are in the Lunsford bubble. People are in the Lafayette RPEC bubble, and it's bubbles everywhere. But you have to get out the bubble. And you can easily get sucked into those bubbles where you're in these bubbles. We go to Lafayette Republican women. We go to Fleur-de-Lis Republican women. And we only surrounded by people who they're all chirping the same thing. Then you start believing that. But then you have the surrounding of everything, the reality. You have the reality, but you're only in here. This is much bigger than here.
Yeah,
I think Josh learned that lesson tonight. A lot of people better learn that lesson tonight. Let's see. Let's go over here real quick to so connect. Birkin's going to win, but that could have been an example. There are people here. There are groups everywhere where you're in a bubble. You have to get out of it.
And that's another thing too. A lot of people think if you try to go outside that bubble, you're becoming left wing.
Well, no. That's not what I'm talking about.
No. Lafayette Parish.
That's don't conflate. Please don't conflate that because it's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about reality in general, where you are.
But that's why they don't want that bubble. They don't want
Biden, for example. Biden. There's a group of the Democrat at the DNC that Biden is best fit to be their nominee. Over here is saying, no, that's not the case.
Okay, I get what you're saying. So it's two different.
But over here, they're saying, no, Biden, we need Biden. We're going to screw every other person trying to run against Biden. We got to give it to Biden because he's done all these great things. They're telling themselves that. They're in this bubble. But the reality is, well, obviously that's not the case. So what I'm saying is you have to get out the bubble and you have to get into reality. And it's very hard to get into a bubble, especially if you're, got some paranoia or if you're doing some things that you shouldn't be doing. I'm not saying anybody's doing it. I'm just saying that that's the case. You have to get out that bubble. And that's why you have to surround yourself with people who are not in that bubble. And, I told Josh Guillory one time when he was running for Congress and we was at Landry's and it was a beautiful day outside. And I told him, I said, and I don't really tell the story because it's not a nice story, but I told him, I said, I would have a better chance of going walk outside right now, getting struck by lightning than you will be the next congressman. Right?
Yeah.
Beautiful day. Why would I get struck by lightning?
Mm-hmm.
But I told him that. Because guess what? You want to know why, Isaac? I'm honest. And I call it like I see it. And if you ask me or you come around me, you're going to get it honest. I don't have time for, to be lying to you. And if you want to pay me to lie to you, then fine. I don't really do that either, though.
And
the problem is you have to surround yourself with people who are honest. They're not afraid to tell you, no, dude, you're losing, or no, dude, you're gonna lose. You need to do this, and that.
Yeah.
Or stop doing this and that.
You can't have
if I would have worked for Josh Guillory and he would have opened up an LLC in construction and then release some initiative for infrastructure and then have the parish government bid on that using his company, I would have went into his office and said, "What the F are you doing? Have you lost your mind? Do
Yep.
we need to go bring you to the psych ward?"
Well, he really had it when he went to rehab. I don't know. Just saying. But no, I get what you're saying. And that's where we have to, but like I said, like you said, I don't think this is the end of Josh. I think Josh.
Same thing otherwise, same thing. There are many people who I've given free advice to, and had they taken it, the results would have been different this cycle.
Well, and going back to that though, like a lot of people like to hire yes people. Okay.
Oh,
yes, sir. Yeah, yes, sir. Oh, that's a good idea. The people that make it in this world is the people that tell them, "Hey, look, you can't do that. That's a bad mistake." So, but anyway,
say you can't do that. Hey, do this. Hey, do this instead.
So before we roll out, Kelby, one last time, we will talk about Ignite Marketing a little bit. You went ahead and said, "Look, can I sponsor the show for tonight?" And I was like, "Yeah, we made a deal on it." So, it was in the corner. Everybody got to see Ignite Marketing the whole night.
Very expensive deal too, by the way. So
yeah.
Clients to recoup some of this money.
No, you can't lie. I did give you a good. I didn't charge you on a leg. I charged you a finger. No, no. But anyway, Kelby, IgniteMarketingLA.com. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about the company and what are your goals going forward.
Hey, you cut out. What's that?
I said, just tell us a little bit about your company and your goals for it, and what you trying to accomplish.
Look, we are your hometown marketing team. Look, political campaigns, marketing. We stay on top of things so you don't have to, right? We learn the new trends because Facebook is always changing something. Google is always changing things. We are in a digital world, so we specialize in helping small businesses and political organizations and to achieve their goals, through these very customized marketing strategies or campaign strategies, right? We sit down and give you my campaign plan, for example, is like 10 pages, right? The bigger the race too, the better. It's detailed. It's got everything you need. Everything's been thought into it. What could happen, what couldn't happen. So, whether it's digital, social media management, graphic design, website design, blast text, we do a lot of those. Fundraising, you want to get some money into your campaign, I will have you on the phone and meeting with donors. You will be very busy. You will be getting some money in, which is good. You need money to play the game. So we're committed to staying on the cutting edge of everything, and of course, providing the very best to our clients. And we had some pretty successes this year. We've had some losses. Now if you count me in on the tail end of the deal, I don't know if I'm counting those yet as win losses. Just because if I wasn't involved in the whole thing and I just sent you some text messages and you lost, well, then you won.
You're not the ground roots.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I should count those or not, because I had one who brought me in on the last minute and lost, and I had one who brought me in the last minute and won. So I don't know who, I don't know what I should do on that, but who cares? I don't care about win loss. Some people do. I don't. But yeah, we're going to be offering some printing and some of those things. We lost a print shop, a local print shop, Positive Printing. They closed down this year.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it's kind of a hole. They relocated to Opelousا, so there's kind of a hole in the printing business here in Breaux Bridge, St. Martin Parish. So, we're going to be introducing some new services for that. Signs, banners, specialty items, right? Pins. Everybody likes the pin with the logo on it. So we're going to be introducing some of those things. For our political candidates, we're going to be introducing in-house printing. So I won't even have to go to the print shop and order your push cards, because we can do it for you now. So some exciting things. Of course, advertising, graphics, polling. We did a bunch of polls this year. Oh my God, so many polls. We can do text polls, which is very popular, very cheap, and we can do landline call polls. We use AI for that, right?
Okay.
A virtual person, and it sounds just like a real person. It's creepy. So yeah, I mean, lots of stuff that we can do for you. I never guarantee a win, but your chances are pretty high. You higher impressions, then I don't know. Hugh Andre. That was shady. That was shady. But you see, I wouldn't have worked with Hugh anyway because I was supporting Blake. So it really don't matter.
Well, Kelby,
Blake won, huh? Blake won.
Blake won.
Where's that hat? Did you finally give it a break?
Yeah. I gotta go with my buddy Scott Smith, man, from Smith.
Give him a plug too. I want whoever the hell that is.
Yeah, so Scott Smith owns Smith's equipment, truck and equipment sales. He buys used trucks and resells them. He also does financing and stuff like that in the greater Lafayette area. His dad had the company for a while, and he went ahead and started his own thing and merged with that. Been in the Acadiana area for 40 years, man. Very successful.
What kind of trucks?
Huh?
What kind of trucks?
Dump trucks, 18-wheelers, trailers, anything, man. And look, my dad, the reason we know Scott real well over there at Smith Truck and Equipment Sales, we've purchased trucks with him. We've done business with Scott. And as I said in my ad for the podcast, he just don't go ahead and sell you a truck. Kelby, them people that sell you something and you never hear from them again, and you try calling them and you always call them and they never answer. Scott and his company isn't like that, man. They check up on you days after. They go ahead and work with you. Hey, do you need something? We call them. Hey, we got a problem. Scott's helping us out right then and there. So great company, great local business. If you're in the trucking industry, go check out Smith's Truck and Equipment Sales. Tell them that Isaac sent you out there.
All right. Yeah. And Chad, can we squeeze Chad in? He's
Yeah. Tell him to give me a call.
Yeah, he's giving you a call. Let's quickly hear what he got to say. He said, "Don't ask where he's been," but I think I already kind of
you blew it. You blew it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. But hey, that
who cares? I mean, he won. All those people on Josh's side, they don't have no power anymore.
But that's the thing too. He's talking like that. I wonder how many Republicans went ahead and sided with Monique.
Well, she's a Republican. Why not?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, so
you have no problem to do it.
So waiting on Chad to give us a call. I haven't got nothing yet. But overall, I had a fun night.
Yeah.
You didn't have a fun night, Kelby?
I did. It was okay.
Yeah, and that's the thing, man. A lot of people
I feel like I need some Michelob though.
I need some coffee, bro. My soda went out a while ago. I need some caffeine.
I bring this big old bottle of water, but I didn't even drink it.
All right, so there is Mr. Chad right there. Let's go ahead and accept this phone call. Mr. Chad, how you doing, sir?
Doing good, my friend. How are you guys tonight?
Doing good, man. Got some surprises, bro. I guess you could say. We had Monique win in Lafayette Parish. We had Mr. Pete Delcom win here in St. Martin Parish. So, and Kelby just had to go off the screen. I think he did something.
I spilled my drink.
He's incognito. I spilled your drink. Wow.
I spilled my damn drink. Bad Hardy.
I'm on?
Yeah, you on?
Yeah. Okay, cool. Hey, everybody. How y'all doing? Whoever listens on tonight. Great to be on with you guys. Sorry I was a little late calling in, but it missed traffic in Lafayette.
Chad, so you said not to ask where you was, but I kind of said before you texted that, I said where you were.
That's fine.
Yeah, I know you was at the you was at the AOC watch party. I'm so sorry for exposing you like that. You know.
Yeah, she's. I saw it with her on a few issues, so we're on the same issue, and we're trying to find 99 Bistro for Nancy Landry now. I just want to mention before we start interrogating me that I am extremely proud of St. Martin Parish, albeit the turnout was low, which honestly Isaac and I spoke about that, and so did Kelby and I. That we had predicted, what do you guys we had said, 18 and 19 and 20 would have been pushing it. Well, 26% the parish president and the 3 Republicans statewide got just like 80%. I think Dr. Fleming underperformed at like 78%. Albeit it's a low turnout, but it does say a lot about, again, the party coming together and early voting and voting on election day. In my opinion, whatever that's worth.
Yeah, we weren't expecting the turnout to be real, much. Now, was that just St. Martin Parish you're talking about with the turnout, or no?
I did not see statewide, but I know St. Martin. Particularly looked at the parish president, so I'm guessing everything bowed down was about 26%.
Yeah, 26%.
And then
we'll put it on the screen so we can see as well. Yeah, but I'm looking at that too, Kelby. The parish president race was a little under 26%.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think, Chad? I mean, we have a new parish president, Pete Delcom. Pete is on our committee with us. I don't know him as much as I know Dean, but and just your thoughts. I mean, you once were sort of in parish government. What you think about Pete winning? And
one short, everybody knows that story. But anyway, yeah, I think being a newcomer, and I think that, and I'm not going to take a pot, because everybody takes pot shots, but he did run for parish council 8 years ago and lost by a super, super slim majority of Byron Fugile, who was in I guess you'd say, a runoff from a tie election with the only opponent. But I wish him luck. I do not know him from a work standpoint, but I do know the people that are familiar with his work at the school board. I mean, say he's thorough in his work, and I wish him luck because it's, I think, around a $12 to $15 million budget, more or less, maybe more. But with capital out there, you're looking at probably around all funds and stuff like that. I know I'm getting technical, but probably around $25 to $30 million, which is no chump change. I mean, compared to Lafayette. And I think a lot of people, and I saw I'm going to jump to Lafayette Parish, that can be attributed to, I think, a lot of Milton, Youngsville, and Broussard closed up the gap for Josh, but it wasn't enough to make up for the north side and the particular, also a lot of West Bayou Parkway people had Monique signs. They were just mad about the Vermilion and the stuff that went on in Cypress Island. And I did talk to a former congressman tonight who helped write some with this bill in the former administration with the Clean Water Act of the EPA. And what went on in Cypress Island, some other issues parish government in Lafayette, city parish government got going on, they're looking at, and don't quote me, and it's not that, it's stuff like that, but it could be upwards of $40,000 a day in fines per violation. Now, what that entails in Cypress Island, I don't know. To pull down small banks, and that's until that dirt is replaced and is put back in the original deal. There's still lawsuits going on, which I wish Pete the best of luck with that. That's a nightmare, but it's in litigation, so it's not so much falls on the shoulder of the parish president. But I do know that. Well, I don't know. I'm guessing with the Corps of Engineers unit permits, with the DQ, Department of Environmental Quality unit permits, with the Department of Natural Resources unit permits, and with the EPA unit permits, it's a waterway, and also again with the United States Army Corps of Engineers knows that's a little bit a bureaucratic nightmare. No permits will be gotten. How do you get away with that? I don't know. Speculations, I'm not going to say on air, but anyway.
Yeah. And I think it's Josh kind of had, and I already gave my props to Josh and explained everything, and
Exactly.
you know everything.
Right.
I think Josh was very rogue in a lot of things, and I think people wanted stability, like you said. The North Side very high for Monique. I mean, and I told you her voter base was the most diverse, and Josh was kind of like on a little island somewhere with the other side, and she had the most diverse voter base. And a lot of those Republicans. Let's face it. I mean, Josh wasn't the candidate they wanted back in 2019 anyway. They were all for Carly Alomar, and he just so happened to win. And all those people, they didn't want him anyway. And then now they've kind of 4 years got their revenge. They used Joel Robideau, and then they got he left, and then so that's that. So hopefully Monique will have the courage to be independent from that. Those people, just like Josh didn't have the courage essentially to be independent from certain people, the Lunsfords and Charlie Buckles and all those people. And I think that hurt him too. I mean, those people have stinky reputations, and people know that, and who you associate yourself with. But the thing is, with the litigation, I mean, that was just rogue. And he he knows better than that. I have to think Josh is intelligent. He knew better. And then he knew Chester Cedars was the attorney for the parish government and knows municipal law probably better than a lot of people. So just these miscalculations on that issue alone was just very rogue and probably just not smart.
Chad said something earlier, though. He said all them people right by Cypress Island, okay?
On the opposite side, on the left side, right? That's a lot of people that potentially flooded because of that. I was told. I don't know personally.
But this goes to a point, too. All them people in Cypress Island, they know everybody that's on the St. Martin Parish side, too. And like you said, just that issue alone, because what got me upset about that whole issue, Josh ran to every single media company and was, St. Martin Parish is wrong, St. Martin Parish. And poor Chester stayed quiet on the issue. But like Chester told, he said, I never got called from KATC3 or KLFY or none of these big media companies that pushed Josh. Josh went and opened his mouth. Now we're knowing that, hey, like you said, there's a lot of stuff. And that's where I feel bad for Pete and I feel bad for Monique on that issue. They're going to have to continue this going forward. Now, will clearer heads prevail? Hopefully. But, we just have to see how it goes out. But they, like poor Monique, like you said, Chad, there's fines and stuff like that they have to pay that don't fall on Josh's hands. Josh is done. They're going to go ahead and fall on Monique's hands.
It falls. But see, with that, I do not know if there could be some personal as far as him, the person, Josh Guillory as an individual, and in his capacity as city parish president, and the civil and I'm not going to even say criminal field. There's not so much jail time, but just it's some serious stuff because a friend of mine that I rode with tonight said, can you imagine that just 5 violations, $40,000 a day per violation, that's $6 million a month in fines. That's been over 2 years. That's $144 million. And there's more than 5 violations in Cypress Island, I promise you. I know that for a fact. I won't say how many, I do not know, but there's going to be a dozen or so. So you're looking at what? $480,000 a day? Going back to almost 2 years?
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money.
If it comes to that, but I know the guy was an attorney and former congressman. They told me that tonight. I haven't seen him in probably 10 years. A big supporter here from, matter of fact, his race was one of the first ones I worked on in 1986. And He ran for U.S. Senate and been working for himself as a consultant ever since. Probably one of the smartest people I've ever known to ever serve in public office.
Billy Tozan?
No, he actually, I started off the court and see, I just don't name it. I'll tear him after that. We get up there.
Well, guys, it is getting late. It is almost 10:30, and we're about to hit the 3-hour mark. I didn't think it was going to stay this long, Kelby, for 3 hours, bro.
3 hours.
Oh, thank you, man. We appreciate it.
Coming from the cheap sheets, it's easy to say, huh?
Well, look, hey, you know what? Hey, Chad, for you telling us you did a good job, hey, you buy the next Coca-Cola for us. How about that? Well, Kelby thinks something strong. I'll take Coca-Cola.
I got you covered.
But the next RPEG meeting, I'll be there,
Come on now.
But Chad, any last thoughts or comments before we let you go?
No, just wish the two new parish presidents luck and the statewide officials luck, and we'll see what goes on. And the Republican clean sweep. How about the Republican clean sweep parish wide? And how did the race in District 1 turn out for parish council?
We didn't even talk about
Hoyt won.
Hoyt won?
Yeah.
Okay, the reason I was asking, I saw it early on, and Byron was ahead by like 7 or 8 percentage points, but it was early.
I don't like Byron's number, but
Yeah, it was. But hey, look, from a race that was dead even, it kind of flip-flopped really. But there was a lot of votes that didn't go. 666 for Brian, and then Hoyt was 710. So they underperformed from the primary as well.
Oh, absolutely. 200-something votes for but my 500 or 600 people stayed home. Wow.
And it's sad, Chad. We talked about that earlier.
People are so apathetic and like in Lafayette. I talked to a veteran consultant tonight early on the phone before I left my house, and he said he attributed the negativity to probably a 10% drop in Lafayette Parish or what he's been gauging and hearing and seeing. It's people are just, they want to hear what you're going to do, not what you have done and what your opponent is, and not what I have done, what I failed to do, but what I'm going to do.
Yep. So, Chad, where are we going to get a beer at?
Oh, no, I'm going to get a Coke on Nancy Ramsey on Julie Emerson. I hope she's listening.
So look, just to get a
99 Bistro. I'll come to River Ranch.
Look, just to give a perspective, how much went down. I just pulled up the numbers for the first parish president's race, and on October 14th, it was 42% turnout for that race. The unofficial turnout for parish president in St. Martin Parish is 26%. That is nearly half dropped. You get what I'm saying? That's just a sad. And the total votes was 14,852, and parish president tonight got 9,442 votes.
And there's a total of almost 34,000 registered. So 20,000 people stayed home. That's nice.
That's
wow.
That's just the parish president race. We didn't look at statewide numbers or anything, but
right. I think statewide was about spot on.
So, well, Chad, thank you for coming on, man.
Thank
Until
you,
next time, be blessed, man.
God bless, and we'll be blessed also. Thank you, sir.
No problem. Well,
thank you, Chad.
Well,
Chad hung up that phone. He wasn't playing.
he said he's going to get something on Monique. Hey, or whatever, Nancy, whoever he's going to next. Look, there's a lot of parties going on tonight. There's a lot of
I think I'm gonna meet Pete and them in St. Martin.
Well, look, Kelby, it was fun, man. Until next time. We already talked about before at the beginning, Super Tuesday and some other stuff. This ain't gonna be the only time people are gonna hear from us. Probably next time will be more national elections, but I think these 2 times were pretty run, man. KLFY should call us and tell us to do their election coverage.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah.
But
I'll do it.
But anyway, Kelby, in 2024, you got a show coming out.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see if it's the Kelby Daigle show or if it's the Kelby and some blank show. We'll see.
And also the Cajun Conservative. Thanks to you. We got
going back. I have opinions. By the way, do you think your people would listen to my show?
Absolutely. Yeah, I got some very diverse people that listen.
That's good.
So, but we'll get you on to talk about your show later on. And like I said, we got a new logo out coming out from you. We work.
Do you want to give them a sneak peek?
Yeah, let's go ahead and give them a sneak
Sneak
peek.
peek.
Man. This is not gonna.
Okay.
We're gonna be releasing this. It's gonna be on the first episode of 2024. So let's go ahead and
honestly, you know what? Who made this for you?
Kelby Daigle, Ignite Marketing.
Ignite Marketing. Okay. So
a good prop to your company, man.
Right, an example.
Example of what we're gonna do.
Right. Let me go ahead and
work together with some things too. So
let me go ahead and show this all for you. Okay. Present, share screen. I feel like I'm on Teams.
Teams.
You know what Teams is?
I never heard of that. So
Microsoft Teams. All right, that's the new logo for his show.
That's going to be on all our podcasts, our YouTube, all that stuff. That's our new logo. It will not be out until 2024, though. So we're running with the old one until the end of 2024. All our new shirts are going to have that. LB, like I said, me and LB talked about it already. We're working on all our stuff. So, hey, I can't lie, LB. You did a good job, man. You did a good job.
It's good, huh?
So, hey, you gave me that same deal as I gave you for the sponsorship tonight.
But this right here, and honestly, like a logo, it wouldn't be a lot of money. If I wouldn't charge $1.5 million. That's
$1.5 million. That's chump change. But anyway, Kelby, that we don't want to show it off too much, because I don't want people to take it from me.
Right.
So Kelby, until next time, man. We had fun. I'll see you again.
Thank you so much for having me on. There was the LSU game, and I have no idea who's winning or anything.
LSU won. LSU won. UL lost against Troy earlier, so.
Oh, Troy! How you lose? Never mind.
Well, Troy was 8-2 when they played, so now they're 9-2. Troy, but it was a close game, dude. They always give Troy a battle.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna have a nice stadium soon.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Could look pretty good.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have to go take a trip out there, man. Wear our gear.
Too bad nobody's gonna go.
Unless they start winning again. Man, when they were winning, then
even when they won, they didn't have people with butts in the seat. They were champions without butts in the seat.
That's state money that's building that.
That's Lord's money building that.
True that too. So anyway,
Lord's building that.
Kelby, until next time, man, you be blessed, you be encouraged, bro.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. Thank you for watching this special election coverage of the 2023 runoff elections. I'm Isaac Hayes, Kelby Daigle. Thanks to Ignite Marketing for sponsoring this video. Y'all have a good one.
Bye.